It's time for Oskaloosa Indians football on the No Coast Network. Brought to you by Bank Iowa, Mahaska Drug, William Penn University, Fairway, Raymond James Financial Services, Roxburt's Decorating Center, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Hawkeye Real Estate, Cloud Valve Company, Robert Auld Investments, Mahaska, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Penn Central Mall, Kelly Style Insurance, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Petrito Orthodontics, and Pella Printing. Oskaloosa Indians. You've been listening to Oskaloosa Indians football. It's time for Oskaloosa Indians football on the No Coast Network. Brought to you by Bank Iowa, Mahaska Drug, William Penn University, Fairway, Raymond James Financial Services, Roxburt's Decorating Center, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Hawkeye Real Estate, Cloud Valve Company, Robert Auld Investments, Mahaska, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Penn Central Mall, Kelly Style Insurance, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Petrito Orthodontics, and Pella Printing. Oskaloosa Indians football starts now on the No Coast Network.
Live, we are here at the Lacey Recreation Complex, and just in time as the homecoming court being introduced here, the homecoming game for Oskaloosa against, according to the Radio Iowa poll, the number 2 team in the state. According to a lot of other polls, the number 1 team in the state, the Spartans of Solon, here in Oskaloosa tonight. While we're at it, let's just go ahead and follow along with what's happening down on the track as they are introducing the court and then the homecoming king and queen, which was coordinated last night, which was always a fun event after the homecoming parade. Josie Bennell, Jory Vandenberg, Maggie Fitzpatrick, and Haley Lashley all were on the court, but it was Anna Jones who was the homecoming queen. And then also on the other side of things for the guys, it was Jaden Van Rukel, Nick Ryder, along with
Jared Cruz
and Calvin Silvers. They were all on the court, and it was actually Sparky.
He picked one off. He picked another thing off.
Alex DeYoung, he is the homecoming king for 2017. So congratulations to him and everybody else. So overall, the homecoming court of one of many things that have gone on this week, along with the Powder Puff football game, Powder Puff volleyball, Oskaloosa picking up a 5-set win in volleyball, which was very fun on Tuesday against Newton and a thrilling matchup, really. And then, of course, on Thursday night, the homecoming parade and the coronation at the Old Community Stadium. My name's Emery Songer. I'm joined by my partner, Doug DeCock. The freshman game went a little long, very competitive. It was Solon 27-21 over Oskaloosa, but they went back and forth. The game lasted a little longer. We have still about 31 minutes from now until we'll kick off tonight, and we expect an interesting ball game. 2 teams, Doug, undefeated in district play. Oskies won their last 3, Solon at 4-0 to start the season. Important for both teams to win this matchup because the way it's kind of shaping up, the winner of this game will have an opportunity really to coast to a playoff berth and potentially the district title. Loser of this game still in good shape in the district to make the playoffs, but you certainly can't make another slip up with a loss later on this season for whoever comes up on the short end of the stick. For Solon, the 3rd best team in this district by all means seems to be Washington, if it's not one of these 2 teams. The 3rd team in the mix to make the playoffs, and Solon absolutely destroyed them, dismantled them 40-0 last week. Oskaloosa still has to play them in week 8, so that is what Oskaloosa has against them. But overall, we should have a very competitive and fun matchup here this evening.
Yeah, I agree, Emery. If Solon wins tonight, you can pretty much mail that district championship trophy up to Solon. They've got it pretty much in the bag. If Oskaloosa can pull the upset tonight, that keeps Washington in the hunt for a matchup later on down the year. Now, Oskaloosa has set themselves up pretty well. Even if they lose tonight, they've got a good chance to still make the playoffs. They do have to go to Washington. But let's remember there is also a wild card. So Oskaloosa's taking care of business like they should have in the first 2 district games, winning by more than 17 points. and they're not sitting too bad. They're out here. Solon comes to town much like Pella. They come not only with a good football team, but they come with a great reputation. This has been a program that's been successful for years and years. They've won state championships in 2A and 3A, and they come in here as one of the more dominant teams in Class 3A.
They face Iowa City Regina, which is always kind of a mark your schedule for that non-district game. I mean, Regina, even though they're a Class 1A team, you can always almost pound for pound put them with any team in the state. They're a private school, they're a Catholic school, they have a lot of top-level athletes from the Iowa City area. So when they face off against the Cedar Rapids Xaviers and the Solons every year in the non-district, you just kind of want to see how good those games are, and typically they are very close. But when you look at the like the week 2 this year when Solon took on Iowa City Regina, Regina lost to Solon 33-0. They shut them out, Doug. They've only allowed a total of 7 points all season. This is a very good football team, and I don't think we can overstate how good Oskaloosa needs to play if they're going to win this football game.
Well, absolutely. They cannot do like they did last week and play 2 quarters of good football, or have the penalties like they've had throughout the year. This is going to have to be a clean 4 quarters of football for Oskaloosa to have a chance here tonight. They're going to have to win the turnover battle. They're going to have to limit their penalties, and they're just going to have to execute. They have to play a clean game to have a chance. If they do that, I think they can stay in the ball game. They've got the right mental attitude. I know my son came home. He said, "Dad, you know what'd be really cool is if we won the toss and we said we want the ball." And I thought, well, that sounds pretty cool. I don't know if the coaches will agree with that, but that's the type of attitude you got to have. You know, Solon has only allowed 7 points all year, but the offense is like, hey, give us the ball. Let's see what we can do. They feel like the players and the coaches both feel like they can move the football against Solon. They did it last year. They moved the ball up and down the field. Then they'd get a penalty or a turnover, which would stall their drives. But they moved it. They feel like their short passing game should be there tonight, and we just have to be disciplined and take what they give us.
Oskaloosa enters, as mentioned, 3-1 overall, and 2-0 in the district. Solon 4-0, 2-0 in the district. Winner of this matchup, the favorite likely to go on and win Class 3A District 5. The other matchups not necessarily looking like, not necessarily what I would say matchups that I'd be circling. Washington hosting Fairfield, likely an opportunity to bounce back for the Demons. Keokuk winless on the road at West Burlington Notre Dame, who's 1-3, and then Fort Madison is 3-1. Fort Madison at 3-1. How about that? They are hosting Mount Pleasant tonight, who's 2-2, looking for their first district win. And you know, if Fort Madison wins that game, can we just mail Tony Schiffman Coach of the Year now?
Yeah, we thought that when we saw them play here earlier this year, that there was a good chance that they could have a winning record in this district, and they took care of, I think, West Burlington last week. Big win for them. So that will be an interesting game to see the score of Mount Pleasant.
They were so bad.
Yes, they were.
Like, it was so, you felt bad for the kids, you felt bad for the fans, you felt bad for everybody involved, and to turn it around like this already, I know we're only in week 5, but 3-1 has to feel like, hey, we might go to the Super Bowl if you are a Fort Madison supporter or player. So good for them, good on them, and Tony Schiffman doing a great job over there for the Bloodhounds. We'll go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we'll let you know some of the important stats, key you in on a few of the important matchups, and let you know who has to have a big game for the Oskaloosa Indians to pull off this home upset on homecoming night here at the Lacey Recreation Complex. It is Oskaloosa football on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Blowing a little bit more down here, but there's a little bit of a gust, but no, it's nice breeze, really nice down here.
Yeah, that's good to hear up here in the sweat box.
Nebraska Drug in Oskaloosa. Getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-through and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Experience the Bruxvort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
Oskaloosa football here on the No Coast Network. Emery Songer, Doug DeCock, and we'll be checking down with the coach, Jay Harms, as this game kind of unfolds. He's down there on the field level kind of gathering some more information. Oskaloosa a little bit more to full strength than they have been. Still missing Ike Schultz, Tucker Nunikov, and Vincent Ramirez, but a few guys back that we expect to play a little bit more than we saw last week at least. Guys like Lutz, guys like Jared Cruz. You just want to see difference makers. And after a nice second half last week, you feel confident, even if another guy has to get plugged in there, that Oskaloosa can do the job. But let's talk about the opposition. It's a little bit different than Mount Pleasant this week, Doug, and it starts with Cam Miller and this fantastic Solon offense, which they only put up 19 points on Mount Vernon on the road to start things off, but then 33-0 over Regina, 47-7 at Keokuk, and then beat Washington, who was supposed to be, on paper, their biggest challenger going into last week, and they were 9th ranked going into last week's action, according to Radio Iowa. 40-0. They protect their home field last week, Doug. This team is rolling with a lot of momentum. You like the way that their line plays, the technique of the line. We like the way that even just watching Cam Miller throw the football in warm-ups, and then they rely heavily on Hunter Kula out of the rushing out of the backfield. He's averaging close to 6 yards per carry and already has 4 rushing touchdowns to complement the passing attack. By the way, Miller, 9 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. This team is careful, they execute well, and it all starts with just that perception. Hey guys, you're wearing Solon uniforms. You can't afford to be a bad team.
Well, that's exactly right. It's a mindset, and they have it up there that they're going to be good. They're an extremely well-coached team. They have some ex-Hawkeyes on their staff, and those guys do a good job with their line. I was really impressed with their line. When I look at the stats here, they've got some weapons, and they got some young weapons. Their quarterback, Cam Miller's a sophomore, and he likes to throw to another sophomore, A.J. Coons, whose brother is, I think, on scholarship as a wide receiver at the University of Iowa. So there's some good genes there in the Coons family at receiver. You mentioned Hunter Kula, but Kendrick Harris, the senior, was very effective last year for Solon, and Kula has 59 rush attempts and Harris has 23, so Kula must be a really effective and good back. I've heard of Harris and saw him last year, and he was good last year, so it looks to me like they got a couple good backs they can send at you. They can throw the ball. Miller looks to have a nice release, good touch, and it's going to be a challenge for this Oskaloosa defense tonight.
6 different receivers have caught a touchdown pass this season, and they have 4 guys who've caught at least 5 balls this year. and almost all of them are averaging over 15 yards per catch. So you throw that all into the mix. This is an efficient offense. They score a lot of points. But let's talk about the defense a little bit, because, you know, without the defense, who knows what these scores would be. Again, they've allowed 7 points total in the first 4 weeks of the season. That does not bode well for Oskaloosa's offense, which really did not look very good in the first half against Mount Pleasant last week. If you look at their interceptions, they have Cole Flansburgh, who's a good all-around athlete with 2, and then 4 other guys that have 1 each. And they also have 6 fumble recoveries, and Adam Bach has 3 of those, including 1 that he returned for a touchdown. This is a team that really thrives on taking advantage of the mistake. And when you talk about all those takeaways and the fact that they haven't thrown an interception this year, it's hard to get them in those odd field position battles. You know, they really control, at the worst, the line of scrimmage and where that is on the field. For Oskaloosa, everything's going to start and end with the way their offensive line plays tonight.
Absolutely, and we're not sure how many fumbles they've lost, but they're looking at plus double digits right there in the turnover margin.
4 games.
Yeah, they were at 12. And they may have lost a fumble here and there, so they're probably plus 10 or better, which is phenomenal through 4 games to have that type of turnover ratio. So Oskaloosa has to take care of the ball. They did not look good beginning the game last week. The whole first half did not look good. They came out and ran the ball. Oskaloosa will present something a little bit different than what Solon has seen so far. We'll be the most balanced attack that they will see. For all of you Iowa Hawkeye fans out there, you're going to see a mini Iowa Hawkeye style defense. They will play a little bit soft. They'll give you the under stuff, and they want you to make 10 to 15 play drives. They're counting on you making a mistake somewhere along the line. So Oskaloosa, as we mentioned earlier, should be able to move the ball. The key is going to be stay patient, take what they give you, make the right reads.
And it'll be interesting to see, according to their stats, they have only 2 team sacks on the season, so they don't really come after the quarterback too much. It's very much just kind of that mosquito net. You know, we're not going to let anything get past us, and we're going to take advantage of when you make a mistake, because you're a baseball guy, I'm a baseball guy. If you just put the ball in play enough in baseball, the opposition is going to make a mistake, have a little flub up, and you're going to have an opportunity to take advantage of that on a mistake by the opposition. And that's exactly what they do. They just kind of bait you into making mistakes. So for the most part right now, Doug, I just feel like if you're Oskaloosa, what you need to do is establish the running game, but Seth Howard has to avoid making dumb mistakes, and we saw a couple of those last week.
Well, he did, and I got confidence in Seth tonight that he's going to be able to change that around. If you're familiar with basketball and the pack line defense, that's kind of what these guys do. They hit and they hold and read. They're not going to run themselves out of position. They stay in their lanes. They're very disciplined on defense. They're not running around wild, over pursuing. They're going to stay there. They're going to read what you're doing. And it's kind of like in basketball, when even though you're 1 pass away, you're playing in the gap there to knock off the drive, the dribble drive or whatever, and make them kick it out. So they play a lot like that. It's almost in basketball is how they're going to play. So it can be frustrating, especially to a team that's used to hitting big plays, because they're not going to give it to you.
For Oskaloosa, though, I think we can agree immediately that one thing they may have is special teams on Solon, but to get the special teams into the game, you don't want to have to be returning a lot of kickoffs. That means you're giving up a whole lot of points. But if you do get into kind of a punting matchup, Jaden Van Rukel has proven himself as a very strong punter. Tyler Miller has proven himself as a great return man as well. Casey Hill hasn't gotten a ton of looks back there with Nunikov on the sidelines, but the return game and the kicking game for Oskaloosa should be a plus. How do you think that's going to factor in tonight?
Well, I hope it does factor in. If that factors in, that means we got one heck of a ball game here tonight. We saw Solon's kicker kicking extra points, and he was really shaky just on extra points. So Aaron Blom has not made a field goal yet. He's going to make some field goals, and because of this high school rule, the coaches have decided, you know what, we're going to give him shots from 45, 55 yards out.
As long as he gets to the end zone, it's going to the 20 and nowhere else.
Yeah, and he can kick it that far. He just hasn't got it through the uprights yet, but they only get it at the 20. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting game. We're going to find out how much improvement Oskaloosa's made. If they play a clean game, this one could be fun.
Oskaloosa and Solon still about 15 minutes away from the opening kick. We'll go ahead and take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll once again tell you some of the stuff that's been happening this week, let you know all the interesting things that we think are going to happen in this particular ball game, and get you set for the kickoff. Oskaloosa taking on number 2 Solon right here on the No Coast Network.
Swim Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Plow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Plow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Plow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
At Pepsi, we think it's important to celebrate stuff in life.
Like when you text that really cute guy you met at a party on Friday, and he immediately texts you back. You celebrate with an ice-cold Pepsi.
Or your friend turns on the radio, and your absolute most favorite new song just happens to be playing. That calls for a Pepsi, too.
Because when you and your roommate order a pizza, and the delivery guy throws in extra breadsticks, no charge?
Break out the Pepsi.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
Here at the Lacey Recreation Complex, getting set for what is kind of a muggy 5th week of the season here in late September. My name's Emery Songer, my color commentator tonight, as always, Doug DeCock. And down on the field joining us is the coach, Jay Harms. Coach, we've been working on your equipment a little bit down there, so hopefully you're good to go for the rest of the night. But is it as muggy down there as it is up here?
You know, Emery, it's not as bad as I thought it would be down here. I mean, I just checked it out, and it says it's 85 degrees down here right now, and I'm not standing in front of the fan, Doug. I moved off to the side here now, so this is 85 degrees, winds out of the south-southeast about 5 miles an hour, and a little bit of breeze. So, yeah, not too bad, but we'll probably still see some cramping up tonight. And you guys pretty much touched on everything, you know, that I was thinking down here as well during this ball game. And, you know, it's not a must-win game, if you guys have talked about. You know, I think maybe we kind of sometimes blow games up too much about, oh, we got to win this game, and this is not in that situation we're in right now. But, you know, it's where you want to finish, and you got to go through games like this and said hopefully our kids come ready to play tonight, which we think they will. And it's been a great week of homecoming, and we know we have a tough opponent tonight, but this is where you make yourself better and you find out, you know, what things you got to work on with those games that we have coming up after tonight. And of course, a win would be huge, you know, for playoff picture. But yeah, even if we lose, we're still in the good hunt. Things are good, so hopefully we'll see a good ball game tonight, and hopefully when it's all said and done, we'll be in that win column.
Yeah, and Coach Harms, you talked about it as well. Although this is not a must-win situation, there's really not much for Oskaloosa to lose. You just like to try to keep it within that 17-point differential to give yourself an opportunity in case you do drop a second game to maybe snag one of those wild card spots in Class 3A. But Coach, homecoming question for you. A couple of your softball girls ended up on the homecoming court, and Anna Jones, your leadoff hitter for the beginning of the season. I think she finished the number 2 hitter, but you've had her for a few years. She's the homecoming queen. How about that? You're not only making great softball girls, but you're making fantastic young ladies.
Well, I think everybody's on the king in court last night. Emory that was there that witnessed the coronation. All those kids have done a great job throughout their high school careers, making Oskaloosa proud of them. And happy for Anna, great kid. A little bit closer to her and Josie, of course, because I've worked with those girls for five years in softball, and happy for her and Thad and Lee and so forth. But it was nice to see a softball player, get honored as queen.
Coach, did I hear correctly? She is going to be playing softball at Co?
Yeah, last I talked to Anna, she's kind of decided, she had some different looks, different offers, and she just felt really good at Co. They've really pursued her about the last 2.5 years, and she felt really, really good there. So I think she has made the decision that that's where she wants to go and continue her softball career.
Man, Coach Arms is turning them out. They're going to the next level in big time, man. For people who are Oskaloosa fans and supporters, a couple of names they know, they're going to be in Oskaloosa playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that at 10 o'clock at the William Penn Diamond. Indian Hills is going to be playing there, and just got done talking to Thayer and Nicole Westerkamp, and so we'll have Alexis Westerkamp and Aubrey Miller and Alexis Brew, 3 girls that were on our state championship team. A big part of that state championship team will be playing here in town tomorrow. So people want to get out and watch a little softball. It's going to be a little warm, but hey, that's just like a summer, playing. So get a chance to go out and watch some former Oskaloosa Indians play softball for Indian Hills. Yeah, Coach, that's unbelievable. Fantastic stuff. We'll be checking out with Coach Harms, assuming the equipment don't do anything crazy down there, Coach. We want your equipment to keep working. Yeah, I hope it to hang in there the whole game tonight. All right, that is Coach Jay Harms, and he talked about Josie and Anna. You've had an opportunity to be pretty tight, Doug, over the years with the 5 young gentlemen who were on the homecoming court: Nick Ryder, Calvin Silvers, Alex Young, who's the homecoming king, along with Jared Cruz and Jared, Nick, Alex, Jaden Van Rukel. Yeah, so you have those 5 kids. We see 4 of them on the field. Nick Ryder helps out a lot. He's on the Indian Power every week. Just what I've seen the last 3 or 4 years on the homecoming court, these are not just your typical jocks, not the quarterback of the football team, but band kids are getting in there, just athletes that help out in all sorts of things, involved in a lot of different activities. Really cool to see the students really support those kids. Yeah, it is, and I have been around. I've coached all 5 of those young men in one sport or another throughout their lives, and you could tell when they were youngsters that they were going to be a special group, and they certainly are. They're very respectful, polite. I just can't say enough good things about those guys. 3 of them belong to another little group that's called the Pop-Tart class, which they mentioned last night. There's a group of guys that they have their own little group that they do on their social network, and they're called the Pop-Tart class, but it sounds like they have a lot of fun with that. I can't imagine what that is. The Oskaloosa Marching Indians are making their way onto the track. Of course, they'll play our national anthem momentarily, Doug. We still have 6.5 minutes until game time, but Solon's coming in expecting to win this game. Oskaloosa is expecting to compete in this game, and there is a significant difference. But if you're an Oskaloosa fan, what your realistic hope is for the outcome of this particular ball game? The realistic hope, I would say, is that you go into the 4th quarter within striking distance. If you can keep it to that, where you have a chance with 1 score to take the lead or tie the game, I think you're happy at that point. Yeah, as one thing that Coach Jay Harms mentioned that I really like that he mentioned, that is we're not really in a must-win here. We're sitting pretty solid as an Oskaloosa fan, looking at a district 2-0, already having Mount Pleasant, who maybe is the 4th best team in the district, out of the way. Fort Madison, who might be the 5th best district team, out of the way, and just Washington left on the slate. If you lose here, you basically have a must-win against Washington, but every week it seems like that's becoming more and more doable on the road as well. Go ahead and
just go ahead and take a listen in to our PA announcer tonight. Also have a listen in as the Oskaloosa Marching Indians are going to perform our national anthem momentarily.
Please rise. Remove your hats. Face the flag at the southern end zone for our national anthem.
Our national anthem here live at the Oskaloosa football game against Solon at the Lacey Recreation Complex, and the fight song on Wisconsin being played as the Indians will be coming out shortly. A nice crowd on hand as always for Oskaloosa football. And here come the Indians. The chief things tonight, I think, to look for is energy, early mistakes, and just take care of the football. I think Solon, you look at those numbers, that's insane that they've already forced, 12 takeaways through the first 4 games of the season. They've only allowed 7 points, but you can't score if you don't have the ball. You got to make sure you take care of the football tonight. If you're Seth Howard, Casey Hill, anybody who's going to have the football in their hands. And if you're the offensive line, it's not going to be easy against them, but what you got to do is just try to do the best you can to give your guys some time, because like I said, only 2 sacks as a team for Solon. That's one thing they haven't really loaded up so far this season. They're just fine playing coverage and forcing you into mistakes that way.
Yeah, and we haven't had a ton of turnovers. It just seems like the turnovers have really hurt and come at bad times. We've had 2 for pick sixes. We've had a fumble deep in our own territory. A turnover really doesn't hurt you too bad if it's on the opposing team's 30, 35-yard line. It lessens the blow, I guess you could say, but we've had some big turnovers, and we got to avoid that tonight.
If you score 14 points, if you're Oskaloosa, that is an offensive win with this team the way they've looked so far this season. If you have 1 or 0 turnovers, that is a win for Oskaloosa. If you lose this game, but you keep it within that 17-point margin and keep it within 2 scores, that, I believe, is a win for Oskaloosa, and will put them in the driver's seat. If they beat everybody else, and even if they lose one more game, they're going to be right there for a wild card berth. Keeping this inside of 17, I think, very well. It doesn't mathematically clinch a playoff spot, but if you're Oskaloosa, it might as well be as good as clinching a playoff spot, which is always really the goal. Obviously, you want to say state title, but one goal at a time here. You got to get into the dance before you can worry about lifting the trophy up at the end of the year, and we know Oskaloosa is looking to do so here this year. As the captains for both teams lining it up for the Indians, it is Tanner DeCock, Jared Cruz, Blake Van Veldhuizen, and Alex DeYoung, with a couple of secondary captains, Seth Howard and Vincent Ramirez, who will stand about at the numbers for Solon. They're coming out there with their captains as well. Spencer Wegman out there with Joe Krall, Kendrick Harris, and I believe that's Tyler Linderbaum.
Number 65. That's their big gun tonight.
They are big dudes. And you look at overall, if you're a fan of Solon football, this is business as usual, being 4-0 to start the season. As the flip, Oskaloosa wins the toss, and they will defer to the second half. Have they lost a flip this year?
I thought they get the ball a lot in the second half.
I don't think they've lost a toss this year.
I was mentioning to Emery about the mindset, and Tanner said about Wednesday night, he said, you know what, Dad, if we win the toss, I'd like to see us take the ball. And I think what he was meaning there is that they are confident that they can move the ball, and they want to show Solon right away, hey, we're not scared of your defense.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also agree with
I think sound reasoning won out.
you might. I think it makes more sense to have the ball to start the second half. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Oskaloosa did win the toss. They deferred. They'll kick off. The coverage unit out there, Aaron Blom, looking to chase that touchbacks. The touchback lead in the state. He's right there with the best of them, but I think this first drive is big. You'd love to keep a goose egg, at least for this first drive, and get the offense a chance to take an early lead.
Yeah, and we do have a slight, it's a pretty good breeze. It's blowing the big, heavy American flag a little bit, and it's blowing from south to north. That's where we get our heat from, obviously. So the wind will be at the Indians' back as they prepare to kick off here.
Blom on the season. Kickoffs, they're not necessarily the most glamorous statistic, but 13 touchbacks on 24 kickoffs, that's pretty darn good, and a few of those kicks have been squibbers or little shorties by the coach's standpoint. So he's got about as strong a leg as anybody in the state, and he's just a sophomore. He approaches, and we are underway here at the Lacey Complex, and this one, what do you know, through the end zone for a touchback. Number 14 on the season for Blom, and it'll be Solon football, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And Doug, again, this defense for Oskaloosa, sometimes a bit of not break mentality, but if they can force the first interception of the year, that's a win for the defense.
Well, let's hope so. We've got to watch a play that's gotten us at Fort Madison and Mount Pleasant is a receiver cutting all the way across the field, been able to come open. So hopefully we've made an adjustment to that play. And here we go. Oskaloosa football underway.
Cam Miller in the pistol. He'll take the snap, and he's going to hand it to the running back in plenty of space immediately for Kendrick Harris, rather. And Harris is going to get all the way up to about the 41-yard line. Harris, we mentioned he was a team captain, and you talked about him running well. He's 6 foot even, 185 pounds, and just nobody there.
Yeah, they just off left tackle there. But I think Oskaloosa kind of took themselves out of the play there. They went right at Van Veldhuizen. And sometimes and Solon doesn't do this, when you rush hard, you actually take yourself out of a play.
3 wide receivers to the far side for Solon. Ball right in the middle of the field going from left to right. In the pistol, the snap, another handoff. Harris, another big hole. That offensive line is moving bodies like it's nothing in the first couple of plays. The tackle is made by Keaton DeCock, but not before a 9-yard gain right to midfield, and Harris getting the load early.
Yeah, we may have to pinch down with our ends a little bit here. They've opened up 2 huge holes between the ends and the tackles so far. Nice tackle there by Keaton to limit it to a 9-yard gain. If he gets by him, that's going to go for 20 or 25.
In this pistol, they're going to have 2 backs now alongside Cam Miller, the quarterback, who's been very efficient this year. 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's going to hand it once again to the deep back, Harris. He's got a first down, cuts it back, tripped up, and that's Van Veldhuizen making a nice tackle while he's being blocked to the ground, but not before 7 more yards are picked up, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Spartans at the Oskaloosa 42-yard line. And establishing the run for a team that doesn't mind throwing the ball is huge, because now that opens everything up.
Well, the lunch pail Spartans, they just come to work. They bring their lunch box, and here we go. This is what we do. You need to try to stop it, and so far Oskaloosa does not have an answer for the Solon offense.
3 wide receivers, 2 more backs, in the pistol is Miller. He's going to take the snap and again just hand it off. Harris has plenty of space on the outside. Dykstra makes him stretch it out, and Keaton DeCock wraps him up. He still falls forward to about the 34-yard line, so it is a gain of 8, but that was a good job by Dykstra stretching him out, and that's kind of what you need to do, get him lateral a little bit more.
Well, we had that, but Keaton's got a tackle through his thighs. He kind of let up as he got there, and he was able to shake that tackle and get 5-6 yards after the initial hit. He's got to hit through him so he doesn't get away.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 2. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, ball on the far hash. Miller again in the pistol, different back behind him now, and it's going to be a handoff to him. And coming to the near side, inside the 30, and being knocked down on a tackle by DeYoung. That's the first time we've seen Hunter Kula in the game, a smaller back, 5'6", 180 junior. But he came in averaging 6 yards a pop.
5'6", looked like he's got some quickness there coming off the right side. So they've gone inside of the end. They've now stretched it outside of the end.
Good vision by the back so far as well.
Yeah, one thing about Coach Jenkins is he's very good at making adjustments, and he gets a good look at it. He's going to start calling some different things here and taking some chances.
Three wide receivers again. Miller in the pistol, takes the snap. Will hand it to Kula right up the gut this time. Gain of maybe 4.
Nice job by Tanner there, getting off of the block and making the tackle.
A lot of Indians getting in on these stops, but they're kind of running up different gaps each time, but they're still gaining yards. That's the smallest gain they've had so far, and that's 4 yards, and you'll take that as a running offense, and we'll see if they allow Cam Miller to throw, and maybe they won't. They'll just see if they can run it down the field here.
Well, I don't see any reason to throw. You haven't got, you've gained 4 yards every play, so I'd be surprised if they throw it.
2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side, ball in the near hash. Kula again, the deep back in the pistol, and he'll get another handoff this time, stretching it out, turns it up inside the 20, inside the 15, and it's going to be buried down at about the 13, and it's going to be a gain of 10, and they're picking up chunks of yardage here, Doug. Again, that's kind of reminiscent of a stretch play. Let the back go left and find where that hole is.
Well, and you said it the last time, these backs are really good at finding their hole. The linemen are. That's just basically it. That looked like the Iowa Hawkeyes to a T right there. Akram Wadley cutting it up and then cutting back against the grain a little bit. So this Oskaloosa has their hands full right now.
And you got to give credit to the fullback, Adam Bach, who's really leading the back through the hole each and every down. They're going to hand it this time to Kula, and he's going to be following Bach inside the 10. Is going to be knocked down. It looked like the man who made the contact here on the near side was Cole Kraber. And that's going to be still a gain of about 5 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and 5. It's just so fast how fast they're getting in the line of scrimmage and beyond.
Well, one thing you almost got to hope for here is a holding. Maybe on that stretch play, maybe on that stretch play you can slow them down a little bit and get a holding call. But right now they are imposing their will on us on the offensive line.
Harris re-enters.
And their backs are doing a fantastic job of reading the hole.
2 wide receivers to the near side. They'll bring a tight end on that far side. 2 backs still alongside Miller, and he's going to hand it to Harris. He's going straight up the gut, tries to cut it back outside. Casey Hill, a nice ankle tackle to avoid him getting into the end zone, but it's right near the sticks after a gain of 5, and we'll see if they measure or they just give him the first down. It is a first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. 7:39 to go, first quarter, and Solon marching down the field with the legs of Kendrick Harris and Hunter Kula.
And there was a lot of room there. They're getting a 3-4 yard push on the offensive line, and they're just really moving us out.
Again, Harris the deep back, 2 wide to the near side. Here's the snap. It'll be Harris. He's looking to stretch it to this near side. He turns it up, dives into the end zone through a tackle, and it's a touchdown. An 80-yard drive, which really was as good a running offense as we've seen. They tested different gaps. Their linemen were getting to the 2nd level. The fullback was doing a great job of helping open that up once he moved into the backfield. Both backs very strong, very quick into the hole. There's not a lot to complain about if you're a Solon coach or fan after that first drive.
No, that was about as workmanlike a drive as you'll see. It was almost like practice for them. Oskaloosa is going to have to take some chances and get some guys up the field and try to make some plays for loss of yardage.
And there's going to be a fake. They snap it to Adam Bach, the fullback, who's also the kicker, and then he's going to get into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. You mentioned it. He did not look too impressive kicking the football in the extra point, so they go for 2 with him out of the fake and get it. 8-0 Solon after the first drive of the game. Oskaloosa's offense will need to respond quickly. 7:20 to go, first quarter. Solon by 8. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
If you are looking for brand names close to home, then look no further than Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Penn Central Mall has a wide variety of stores for people of all ages. Find the perfect pair of silver or Vigas jeans at Maurice's. Get a pair of Oakley sunglasses from the smiling staff at Eye Care Partners. Cozy up with Ashley Furniture from Gilworth Furniture. And find that dazzling diamond from Gardner Collier Jewelry. When you're done, grab a bite to eat at Mir and Cheeto or the Pizza Ranch. It's all at Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
The Oskaloosa Indian offense has their work cut out for them because the defense, that first drive, pushed around by the Solon Spartans. They looked every bit one of the best teams in the state of Iowa there with a fantastic 80-yard drive, all running the ball with Kendrick Harris and Hunter Kula. Adam Bach bounces in the 2-point conversion, faking out of the extra point look. As we mentioned, I would be honestly surprised if he was kicking extra points. As odd it was looking him kicking the ball in the pregame. But Oskaloosa gets their first touch here with 7:20 to go, first quarter, down 8-0, and we'll see what they can do as Bach has it teed up, ready to boot it away. Miller and Hill are back deep for Oskaloosa. The kick is away. This one, a solid kickoff, and it'll be received just inside the 5 by Miller. He's going to go straight up the gut, gets out to the numbers on the far side, turns it up, runs into a little bit of traffic, and will be brought down about the 25-yard line. Return of about 21 yards for the speedster, a sophomore, and we'll see what the offense does here. Seth Howard, first and foremost, has to take care of the football and make good reads.
Yeah, pretty good job by the kickoff team, though. They had a hat on everybody. There was a little cutback lane there for Miller. He just couldn't see it to his left, but pretty decent job by our special teams there.
That's been a huge bright spot all season long, as we mentioned in the open, as Miller led his team down by just handing the ball off. We'll see what Howard does as the opposing quarterback. He's out there with Hill. Cole Henry to the far side, and then the 3 wide receivers to the near side. Oskaloosa in those maroon tops and gray bottoms. They fake the snap, look to the sideline just to double check what the call is. Chapman, Miller out wide, DeCock in the slot. Got to hurry and get the snap off, and they do. They're going to hand it to Hill, and immediately the defensive line is in the backfield, and Spencer Wakeman, the senior, into the backfield for a loss of 1 yard on the play. It'll be second down, and I think Oskaloosa is going to have to spread it out sooner rather than later.
Well, and that's we talked about that last week. You like to see it just get a yard. We lost a yard there, and I was barking about this last week. We have too many plays where we get 0 or negative yardage.
We'll see if the penalties clean up too. That never helps. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Howard in the gun once again. He'll take the snap, and he'll be looking to throw a little screen pass to DeCock. One-on-one, stiff arms a man, and will get brought down after a gain of about 3. That's a great open field tackle, that time by Dylan Holt, a junior, out there on the edge. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 8 from the 27.
Well, Tanner got 3 there, but if that was your first down play, then you're looking at 2nd and 7. You can get by with that, but when you have negative yardage, now you're in 3rd and long.
Henry to the near side, 3 wide receivers to the far side. Ball in the near hash as the Indians go from right to left, wind at their back. 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter, down 8-0. Here is Howard. He's going to throw at the sticks. Henry makes a nice catch, and he's got a first down. Oskaloosa just going to need to be in that mode of just let's get enough to move these chains and see where we're at. As we talked about, you want to try to keep this as close as possible until the end, and maybe you can find a way to pull it out. But after that impressive first drive offensively, the trenches might be a tough struggle for the Indians running the ball.
Nice throw by Howard. Good timing route. Good catch by Cole Henry.
Out of this gun, the snap, a handoff again, Hill, and there's nothing there. So he bounces out of it, though, and he is way behind the line of scrimmage and will be brought down eventually by a gaggle of Spartans. He would have been better off just taking the loss of about 5.
Well, if they're not going to rush the quarterback, they have 2 quarterback sacks.
There's a flag on the play as well.
It might be a face mask, hopefully.
Yeah, if you're an Oskaloosa supporter. But, yeah, that's weird. They do have some tackles for loss, but they are very much a stay-at-home style team. Is it's going to be just the 5-yard variety face mask, it appears, which will give Oskaloosa 5 additional yards to the end of the play.
And they're still at 1st and 15.
1st and 14.
14, so nothing doing in the inside there. Solon just overpowering us. I'm not sure. We got to pick and pop here a little bit or try to find a seam. We may need to bring a tight end in.
Yeah, if you're going to want to establish the run at least. And flag's going to come down on the line of scrimmage. And it appears as though that is going to be an encroachment on the Spartans, at least from the preliminary look from the line judge.
Well, and it looks like Jared Cruz is not in the game right
he's
now.
Been nursing some injuries the last couple of weeks, but we figured we'd see more of him. Now it's 1st and 9 after a couple of penalties for Oskaloosa, and they'll spread out again 4 wide, 2 to each side. Ball on the 36-yard line in Oski zone territory. Howard out of the gun, looking to throw. Double clutches, fires toward the end, and it's going to be caught by Alex Chapman. That's a nice catch.
Catch and throw.
Yeah, as a throw only in a spot where Chapman's going to be able to make the play, and that brings up a 2nd and 3.
Well, our snaps are not very good right now. They're too high. We need to get crisp snaps, right chest high, but right now our snaps are a little bit shaky, so that's something we got to watch here.
Sophomore Noah Van Veldhuis in the starting center for Oskaloosa. 4 wide receivers, 2nd and 3 from the 42 now. Here's the snap, and this is going to be a fake handoff, and Howard going to take it himself.
Holding.
Flag in the middle of the play, and great pursuit again by Spencer Wakeman. This guy seems to be everywhere. He's in on almost every play so far. And he's not one of their leading tacklers, so he's just getting good reads right now. A loss of 1 on the play.
That's a quarterback option runner pass there. They look at a little bubble route, trying to hold the defender out and hoping that Howard can maybe break free there on that play, but no chance there.
They're going to take the result of the play, Will Solon.
Holy cow.
Instead of making it 2nd and about 14, they make it 3rd and 4. So I would consider that a break for Oskaloosa.
Absolutely. That is major confidence in your defense.
We'd rather have them just get 1 play instead of 2 plays to get 10 more yards. 4.5 minutes to go, first quarter, 8-0 Solon, 3rd and 4 for Oskaloosa. Howard takes the snap under duress, and he's going to fire it toward the sideline over the head of the intended target, Cole Henry, and he was lucky to get that one away as the pressure was going to get to him that time. Good pressure that time from Matt Folkers off the right tackle, got past Van Veldhuizen, and that'll bring up 4th and 4, and Oskaloosa forced to punt here after their first drive stalls out.
Well, they were coming big time that time. Good pressure by the Solon defense. Howard had to avoid the first rusher, and then he did a good job there throwing it high enough to where, Cole Henry was going to be the one to get it if anybody got it. So all in all, they got a first down there.
Van Rukel punts it away. A.J. Kuhn's back to receive. High kick. He'll receive it at about the 17. He'll go toward the sideline and be pushed out. And a great job on the tackle by DJ Miles. Coach Jay Harms is down there on the field. And, Coach, what's the Oskaloosa sideline like after this start to the game?
Well, I think they were hoping maybe they could pick up that 3rd and 4 there, guys. As I agree with you up there, Doug. I was very surprised they didn't take that penalty. But as you said, a lot of trust in your defense there. But nice punt by Jaden here, and let's see if we can do a better job stopping him here in this second offensive series for Solon.
4:21 left, first quarter, 8-0, and steady diet of the same, you think?
Oh, yeah. Why change? Although they come out in a different formation, they're going to spread them out here a little bit. They may throw the ball.
They have one back. It's Harris. The snap, they'll just hand it to him straight up the gut, and nice tackle in the open field again by Tanner DeCock. If he gets by him, that's another 15-yard gain. So 4-13 and counting here. And they have Bach. He was the fullback, but he's just spread out in the slot that first play.
Yeah, the new formation there, they spread it out and have one back. These guys, they run a lot of different stuff at you. It's tough to defend.
And that's just spreading out the secondary a little bit more, maybe making the linebackers in the second level a little more spread out. They come with 3 wide to the near side this time, 1 to the far side. And again, Harris behind Cam Miller in the pistol on 2nd and 5 from their own 27. A fake handoff this time, but nothing doing. Good job on the pursuit. Good job staying at home on that far side of the field. Miller, nothing there. Big biscuits. Blake Van Veldhuizen was in there along with Cruz on the stop. Loss of 2, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 7 at the 25 here for Solon on the first time they went away from just handing it to the running back.
Well, and this would be a huge emotional lift for the defense right now and the whole team. If you can get a stop here and a punt, that would be huge for the Indians.
3:10 to go, first quarter. 8-0 Solon the lead in the football. 3rd and 7 from their own 25. And this might be their first passing opportunity of the matchup. 4 wide, 3 to the near side. And it is. Looking to throw is Miller. He's got his man Bach over the middle, and he is gone to the races. One man he's trying to outrun is Silvers, and Silvers will not catch him. And that is going to be a 75-yard touchdown pass from Cam Miller on his first attempt of the game. Finds Bach, the fullback, who is lined up as a slot receiver. Just a little skinny post up the middle. Van Rukel a little out of position and did not make the tackle in the open field.
You hit it on the head there. Van Rukel was late in reacting to the player. It was right in front of him. He just did not come up quick enough and either hit the guy as he's catching the ball and jar it loose or make the tackle. So that one goes big. Oskaloosa they let one by there.
They come out with a different kicker now to try to put in the extra point. It looks like Greg Brandt. Again, Spencer Wegman doing everything. He's holding here, and they're going to stop the play before the snap. That looked a lot better. It's actually Aiden Dahl, a junior, with the flag. Dahl has not attempted an extra point this season. So a false start to replay the try. So you got Wegman, who's doing a little bit of everything out there holding, and the guy who hasn't attempted a kick this season lined up to attempt an extra point. It's 14-0. They did get a 2-point conversion on a fake extra point. And maybe that's what they were doing. They were setting up that 2-point conversion by having Bach go out there and practice kicking. Either way, after the 5-yard penalty, that sets up what is a 25-yard extra point attempt. The snap, the hold is down, the kick on the way by Dahl. And that one will slide into the uprights on the left side. So a 75-yard pass play from Cam Miller to Adam Bach gets another touchdown on the board for Solon. With just under 3 minutes to play first quarter, they lead Oskaloosa 15-0. We'll be back after this quick break on the No Coast Network.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
2 minutes, 48 seconds left. First quarter. We're getting close to the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Got off to a little late start here on homecoming night. The freshman game went a little long. Solon 27, Oskaloosa 21 in a fun competitive contest. But right now, Solon 2 for 2 on their drives. The first drive, a methodic run down the field setup. And eventually, in the second drive, it's on 3rd and about 7, a 75-yard touchdown pass from Cam Miller to Adam Bach. Extra point was good. It's now 15-0. Oskaloosa's offense must respond now, as Bach's kickoff is a low-line drive that'll bounce, and it'll be taken at the 6 by Miller. He's going to try to turn it up the field. He gets up the field a little bit, and then we brought down at the 22. That's a good job by him after the bouncing kick, and that'll give Oskaloosa the football at the 22. Got to clean it up just a little bit, especially if you want to gain yards on first down. I think that's the key to this drive for Oskaloosa.
Yeah, if Solon keeps you in long yardage situations, you're in deep trouble. You've got to get something positive on first down. Going back to our defense, we have got to be more aggressive in going after players. Especially with these teams like Pell and Solon, you can't sit and wait for them to come to you. You got to go make plays, and that's what we're not doing in these big ball games.
At a tight end with 3 wide receivers and 1 back, so they do put the tight end into the ball game. Miller in motion, Hill in the backfield. A snap, handoff to Hill. He's going to gain at least 1, and he'll be brought down at the 23-yard line, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So it wasn't backwards at all here, Doug, but they're going to have to do a little bit more to move that defensive line from Solon.
Well, hey, that's better than -2. That's a positive yard. There was a little cutback lane there to the left. If he was able to plant with his right foot, he might have had some daylight back to the left.
2:15 to go first quarter. 2nd and 9, Oskaloosa football at their own 23, going from right to left. 3 wide receivers down to the far side. 1 to the near side is Henry. It's going to be a quick little screen out to DeCock. He gets a block, and he's going to run over a man to about the 27, 28-yard line. Pickup of about 5, and that'll set up another 3rd and manageable here. 3rd, and we'll call it 3.
Well, that's what you got to do. I mean, you just got to take what they give you, and then every once in a while take a shot down the field. I think Howard rolling out, and we got to be able to run some guys into different zones from the opposite side of the field.
3 wide receivers to the near side. Miller comes in motion, takes a snap, fake to him. He's going to throw it into the flat to Henry, and Henry's going to be brought down after a minimal pickup of 1. Kendrick Harris, who's been so good running the football, makes a great tackle from behind on Henry, and that's going to be forcing a 4th and 3.
Well, and we did exactly what we wanted to do there. That was fairly well executed play. I like the play. Faked the jet sweep and threw it to Henry. You've got one-on-one, and you're just hoping that your guy can break a tackle, and they are right on you. I see right now why they've only allowed 7 points.
Very disciplined. Van Ruckel will trot on. A kind of a late decision by Coach Jake Jenkins to decide to punt the football away. Offense stood out there for a few extra seconds, but they will punt on 4th and 3. Van Ruckel puts the boot to it, and this one, another high kick, this one a little shorter, received at the 35, and DJ Miles will make the stop. Fantastic job again in coverage by Miles, and I think they're going to get a block in the back. They'll add on to the end of this return. So again, the special teams for Oskaloosa has been a huge bright spot this year, and they're really the only bright spot so far in this game.
Boy, that's a nice kick by Van Ruckel, and nice coverage by DJ Miles.
He's 2 for 2 and making tackles down the field.
Yeah, he is doing the job. I mean, you're right. Our special teams have really been a bright spot.
And the block in the back puts 10 more yards to the end of the kick, because that's right where the point of the block in the back was. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans at the 26-yard line with 38 seconds to go. And maybe 1 or 2 plays left here in the first quarter. Solon with a 15-0 lead. right at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. We appreciate you for joining us here live on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN with live video coverage with the help of the Oskaloosa Video Production Program on MCG Channel 7 and RadioKMZN.com. Emery Songer, Doug DeCock, Jay Harms with you. 3 wide receivers for Solon and 2 backs. This has been a good formula for them so far, and they're going to be handing it off to the deep back Harris, and he's going to lower his head, but a flag right in the middle of the offensive line makes you think that'll likely be a hold, and we'll have to check. Penalties have been really on Solon so far, but it hasn't really slowed them down too much.
Yeah, I had a good look at that one, guys. I think center there, Linderbaum, the big center, got a hold of Blake and didn't let go after the runner kind of got by him, so I think he's going to get called for holding there.
Imagine that. Van Veldhuizen draws a holding call.
Well, let's hope we can hold him here. You know, we had him at 3rd and 7 the last time and just did not make a play. We've got to make plays in these big games, and here we got him going backwards again. So if you're the Oskaloosa defense, you need to get a stop here and get the ball back, and you'll be right back in the ball game.
30 seconds to go, and we'll have to run at least one more play here in this quarter. It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it's now 1st and 17 from Solon's own 18-yard line, leading 15-0. Ball on the near side hash. Here's the snap. This is going to be a little stretch handoff to Kendrick Harris, and he's going to stiff arm away to maybe a yard. Good stretch defense again by Oskaloosa, making him go laterally, and that will wrap up the first quarter. Oskaloosa, one they'd like to forget, but we mentioned they play better typically as games go on so far this year. They'll have to if they're going to come back against the number 2 ranked team in the state. Solon 15, Oskaloosa nothing. We'll be back after a short break with the second quarter after this on the No Coast Network.
Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development is dedicated to the promotion and improvement of rural economies and to the development of both vision and leadership to enhance the quality of life in all Mahaska County. Recently designated as a home base Iowa community, Mahaska County and the city of Oskaloosa are now welcoming veterans and transitioning service members for career opportunities in the area. This also includes an incentives package created through Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development. For more information on how to support the Home Base Iowa initiative, contact Deanne DeGroot at 641-672-2591.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
Oskaloosa, first quarter that they'd like to bury behind them, but they're down just 2 scores and have a Solon offense in a spot maybe they can get off the field. It's going to be 2nd and 16 for Solon. The ball is at their own 19-yard line. They're going from right to left, wind at their back here for the second quarter. And the Indians looking to try to get a stop and get the ball back down just 15.
And if you're Oskaloosa outside of the first drive and one play, you've played pretty good defense here in the last 2 series.
Yeah. 3 wide receivers. 2 backs. In the pistol is Miller. He fakes the handoff. He's under duress. He's rolling to his right, looking down the field, fires, and it's behind his intended target and nearly intercepted by Van Rukel with one hand. That nearly was a huge game changer. Remember last week, the big game-changing play was late in the second quarter. Alex Young, an interception on a deep pass, and then he lateraled it to Van Rukel, who then returned it all the way inside the 10-yard line. Oskaloosa would capitalize on that play and end up running away with the game from there. This is a different monster, though, in Solon.
Yeah, that was excellent team defense. Cruz did a good job on contain. Blake, Big Biscuit, was chasing him from behind. Tanner had dropped in his hook zone, and Jaden was coming up from his safety and almost got the interception there on a tip ball. So good defense by the Indians.
Yeah, Miller behind his intended target that time. He's in the pistol again. 3 wide receivers far side, 1 to the near side, and he'll take the snap looking to throw a little more conventionally. Set up the screen. It's Kendrick Harris. He's got it across the 25, and it's Cruz and Keaton DeCock on the stop. Just a gain of about 6, and Oskaloosa will force a punt for Solon, 4th and 9.
That'll way. The Indians get a big stop. They needed that. And like I said, one big return here, something positive to happen, and the Indians will be right back in this game. Good job, Solon, much like the Hawkeyes, as we mentioned before, likes to run screens.
A little conservative, don't want to turn the ball over.
Yep, pretty good job there reading that. I think that was a little too far to run a screen with 15 yards to go or whatever it was, but good job by Oskaloosa.
11 minutes to go here in this second quarter, 15-0, and Solon will give it up for the first time. Bach to punt. He's going to roll to his right and do a little rugby-styled kick, a little poocher, and it's going to be away from Tyler Miller. A great punt by Bach. Miller is going to watch it bounce, and he's not going to take a chance. It'll roll out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Adam Bach is one of those guys that just does everything, and that time he kind of did the old it's kind of like that Joe Montana throw, you know, the catch. He rolls to the right, kind of throws back across his body there. Well, he kind of did the rugby style of that. He saw Miller kind of drifting with him, and he ended up kicking it behind him, and Miller couldn't track it down and got a great roll.
And what a weapon that is. He was actually rolling right, sprinting to the right, and he kicks the ball back across the field. I don't think there was anything Miller could have done with that ball.
No chance.
You know, Tyler's been doing an excellent job catching the ball, but man, what a break for Solon, and then it rolls about 20 yards, but not much they could do on that play. Just a talented kick by their punter.
Adam Bach doing a little bit of everything. He's been a lead blocker. He ran in a 2-point conversion and now showing his punt skills. 4 wide receivers. Miller coming in motion. Oski 1st and 10 from their own 5. Bad field position here for Oskaloosa. And it's going to be a design run for Howard. He's going to try to tiptoe his way forward. And it looks like the ball came out late, but they're going to say he was down. It's going to be 2nd and 8 after a pickup of 2. They're trying to any kind of different look to maybe gain some yards on first down without having to throw the football.
Yeah, Solon had, I'm not sure who it was, came in there hard, and our back picked him up, kind of picked him up. And at least we were able to get some positive yardage there. So that's, like I said earlier, anything other than a loss, I'm going to consider a win on positive yardage. We do not have Cruz. Doesn't look like he's going to be playing offense tonight.
4 wide receivers. Hill, the lone back. 2nd and 8 from their own 7-yard line on the near hash, going from left to right, wind in their face. Howard takes a snap. He's going to fake a handoff, and he's going to be swallowed up immediately. Once again, the first man in there was Spencer Wegman, and somebody on the left side of the offensive line is going to have to get that guy on the ground.
Our center just took off and ran right by Tyler Linderbaum. He had a free shot. He just ran straight in there. I mean, if I'm the offensive line coach, I think I'm going to tell the guys, hit somebody that's close to you, because they're just, don't worry about the linebackers right now.
Loss of 1 on that play brings up a 3rd and 9 from the 6. Oskaloosa needing to get to the 15 to move the chains and extend the drive. 9.5 to go second quarter, down 15-0. Howard, 2 wide receivers to each side. He'll take the snap. They bring a blitzer in Bach. Bach's, he avoids him. That was a good move, and he's going to get out of there. And they're going to throw a flag in the end zone. And whether or not, I mean, the question I would guess is, was he hit after the play, or was that an intentional grounding? If it's a grounding, then that would be a safety.
That's not that referee's call. That's a personal foul.
Yeah, it is.
The passer.
Wow, what a break for Oskaloosa.
Oh, we are getting some breaks on the penalties tonight.
Whoa.
That is huge.
And unnecessary as well. Bach came on that blitz, and just Howard did a great job of eluding him, but then as he threw the ball away, the only thing, he didn't land up on the ground. I'm guessing they just maybe made head contact.
Well, it could have been a blow to the head with an arm too, and didn't bring him down to the ground, but these guys are running scot-free off the defensive line. They're not even getting touched once in a while. I'm not sure what's going on with our line calls.
It'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Oskaloosa at their own 21 after Solon gift wraps a first down. 9:21 to go second quarter, 15-0. Solon the lead. 4 wide receivers. Here's the snap. This is going to be a fake handoff and a little screen pass out to DeCock, but it, again, is going to go for nothing. Trying to see who is out there in the flat, and it looks like it's Jack Staley, the junior, out there making a great open field tackle for a loss of 2.
Well, much better job by the interior of the offensive line that time. Everybody got a hat on somebody, and we stopped their penetration. We're going to have to take a shot down a seam or something pretty quick just to keep these guys honest.
Yeah, there's just too much action happening at the line of scrimmage. 3 wide to the near side. Howard takes the snap, and he is looking a little further down the field. It's going to be caught by Miller, shakes the first tackle, and he's going to get himself out to the 26. We talk about him. He's not a big guy, but he does a great job of finishing runs and trying to gain extra yards, and he makes it a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and about 4.
Well, he's a powerful little running back, but Seth Howard is throwing the ball well tonight. That's a long throw. He got it out there to Miller. He broke a tackle. Got 3rd and short here.
And there's going to be a flag.
Offside.
And it's going to be offside again.
That's a first down.
Unbelievable.
So Solon is really making a lot of mistakes.
Coach, what are you seeing down there?
Well, I was just going to say, guys, I know this was our third, like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, and we hadn't picked one up yet, but there's a big break, give us a first down there. So I was waiting to see if we're going to finally pick one up, because that's where we want to be. We want to be short yardage on 3rd down, but we hadn't been able to pick it up yet.
I would venture to guess that Oskaloosa has more first downs in this half than any other team this year has against them.
I would agree with that, even if a couple of them are via the penalty. Here's 3 wide receivers near side. Howard takes the snaps, got some time, fires it in the one-on-one matchup, looking for Henry, and he just can't quite reel it in. That was kind of misjudged by both players out there. Again, that was Staley one-on-one. Staley measures up at just about 5'9", so you can imagine the 10-inch difference. You'd like to try to execute a little bit, but the ball a little bit underthrown, and both players didn't really have a chance to make a play on it.
There you go, Doug. There's a play you're kind of talking about, and I thought it was a pretty well-thrown ball by Seth.
Well, it was, and then I thought our offensive line and back did an excellent job. The back picked up the delayed blitz from the linebacker, so a good job that time by the line. I'd like to see Seth just lay that thing up in the air and let Cole run under it and then use his height to catch it instead of throwing it on a line like that.
Yeah, he's got a 10-inch difference on the man opposing him. This is a nice tackle in the open field as Chapman makes the catch at the line of scrimmage. Storm Scott, how about that for a name? Storm Scott, the senior, on the stop there, and that's going to be a minimal gain.
Oh, golly, look who's down for Solon, guys.
Linderbaum is down in the middle of the trenches, and that is not good.
Coach Dowd's just kind of throwing his hands up. I mean, these guys are so quick on their reaction to the pass, that little bubble pass. Tyler Miller could not even get a block on his guy, and Coach Dowd's just like, we've got to at least get some type of block on that guy. Looks like they're looking at Linderbaum's knee.
Well, we talked about, cramps being a thing, but that's not what they're looking at here for sure, as he's going to get up and kind of limp off, not putting a ton of weight on that right leg, and we'll check on him. That's one of the cash cows for this team. They're not going to put him in a spot where he'll risk further injury.
Yeah, I was going to interrupt here. I saw their coach talking to the referee. He said guy had to hold him up above, and a guy came in underneath and got him on the knee.
So that would be an illegal chop block for you, our listeners out there. You cannot engage a defensive guy high and then somebody else come down and block him low.
Dangerous play. Either way, though, Oskaloosa finds themselves in a 3rd and 9, and Linderbaum will be off the field for this particular setup, and he, at the very least, even though he hasn't necessarily been super active in the way of getting into the backfield and making tackles, he's certainly gobbling up a couple of blockers to make way for guys like Wegman, who are getting in the backfield and making tackles. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, 3rd and 9 at the 33. Howard with one back next to him. He'll take the snap out of the gun, and he'll a little draw handoff here to Hill, but he's got nowhere to go. Again, the second level, good pursuit on the tackle, Ryan Gestkemper, and the junior able to come up from his linebacker spot and make the stop, a loss of a couple, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Coach, it looks to me like they just got athletes everywhere out there on defense. They're not big, but they're quick, they're good tacklers, and they are smart, and they're just not out of position.
No, you're right, Doug. Both sides of the ball, you just watch them, and yeah, they're just so well schooled. Really good football team.
This is a high end-over-end kick by Van Rukel, not his best effort. We'll see where they mark it. And I think Coach Jenkins was hoping to talk the official into something better than he got. It's going to be at the 47, so good field position for Solon at their own 47-yard line. 7:50 to go, 15-0 Solon in the lead. But the Oski defense did get off the field last time. We'll see if they can continue that momentum, although the offense still kind of sputtering.
Yeah, they got some first downs there. We're halfway through the second quarter. Once again, if they can get a stop, but they are playing much better defense after that first drive, really, except for the one play that we talked about. But other than that, the defense is playing pretty good right now.
3 wide receivers to the far side and trips. You got one to the near side. It's going to be a handoff straight up the gut. And there's a flag in the middle, a likely hold again as Harris is going to fall forward to the 40. A pickup of 13 yards, but hold that thought because, once again, I think Solon shot themselves in the foot on a big gain. And they're going to say holding again on the Spartans.
So that was a little counter play. They pulled both linemen from the right side there and tried to lead them up through the hole. Tanner DeCock had a shot at him at about the 3-yard gain, and he was able to get through that. But once again, a holding play. So give Oskaloosa credit. you're getting held because you're trying to do things, and if you're just standing there, you're not going to get held. So they deserve some credit, this defensive line and the defense right now. They're hanging in there and trying to keep this at a 15-point ball game.
3 wide receivers getting split out to the far side, 1 to the near side. A spot foul, walked off 10 yards from the spot, makes it 1st and 15. Morris, same play. He's going to hand it straight up the gut. And look at the power now by Harris running over to Cock. Keaton DeCock comes and helps Tanner with DJ Miles in on the stop as well. A pickup of 6 to the 48. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, Tanner did okay there. I mean, he's trying to fight off a block. He's got a running back coming at him.
And one that's running with heavy legs as well. I mean, Kendrick Harris at 6 foot even, 185. He is not an easy man to bring down.
Yeah, and Tanner's probably he's 170, 75, dripping wet, and he's hanging in there. He's playing tough. He's doing a good job so far.
3 wide, far side, 1 to the near side, and again in the pistol is Cam Miller. Miller fires a little slant. It's caught, and tandem tackle by the 2 DeCocks. And also in on the stop was Calvin Silvers, a pickup of 8, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1 here after a little slant pass.
And that's a play Mount Pleasant hit on us 2 or 3 times in a row before we made an adjustment on that play. You know, they went at Silver's side last week with that, and they just hit it again. So you can tell from game to game what teams have picked up from the other games, and that's a play that they'll come back to if they really need to.
3rd and 1 now from the Oskaloosa 44. 6 minutes to go, second quarter, 15-0. Solon the lead.
Got to watch the tight end on this side.
Here's the snap. They're going to hand it to Kula straight up the gut, and he's got 1st down yardage, a gain of 4 to the 40 as he's wrangled up by Cruz and Keaton DeCock, and that'll bring up a 1st and 10 now as the chains move by the Spartans. They're not overthinking this too much. They're just making safe plays, and that's why we see them not turn the football over and gain a lot of yardage. They just let their guys make some plays.
Yeah, and you know, once again, Tanner was in on the tackle, but that guy's got a full head of steam coming at him from about 4 yards, and Tanner's hanging on like a bull rider. But right now, they're moving the ball again.
While Kula is a smaller guy, he still outweighs Tanner by a solid 10 or 15 pounds. Here's the snap. Looking to throw now once again is Miller. He's got his man on the seam once again. Van Rukel does make a big hit this time, but not before Adam Bach picks up another good piece of yardage. That's going to be a gain of 20 yards to the 20. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 on the edge of the red zone. So Van Rukel made the adjustment on that particular play, but they found Bach again in that little seam route.
Well, and they went with the cover 1 there. They went man-to-man everywhere. They brought Tanner on an outside stunt from the inside, trying to guess right on that, and Solon had the correct play call and was able to hit the receiver going over the middle. DJ Miles didn't have too bad a coverage on that.
It's just the execution. The level of execution is there right now for Solon. 3 wide receivers. Here's the snap. Kula gets the handoff through the A gap, and he shoots up the middle, and he's going to bounce off a tackle and fall inside the 5. Van Rukel makes a touchdown-saving tackle, but not before 18 yards are picked up, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 2. Kula's got just that little extra gear. I think Harris can run and run you over, but Kula can get it into a 2nd gear.
Yes, he can. He's quick up through the holes, and Solon at 1st and 2 or 1st down and goal at the ball at the 2.
This is tough to stop.
This is not going to be good.
4:55 to go and counting, second quarter. Solon looking to make it a 3-score game. They're leading it already 15-0, and they just look every bit the part. If you're talking about a team that's got state title aspirations, they come with a jumbo, and it looks like Cole Flansburgh, the quarterback, is lining up to take a snap, but it looks like timeout was called by somebody.
Timeout.
And it was Solon who took that timeout. So Spartans didn't like something they saw. Coach, you're down there. How quick is Kula getting in the hole? He looks so short from up here, but he packs a punch.
Yeah, he's got the quick feet, guys. You know, they got the whole package. They really do. I've been watching their offensive line, and you know, you guys seen the running backs up there. They got the bruiser, they got the speed. You know, the quarterback can throw the ball when they have to, and you can see, as Doug had said earlier, why they've only given up 7 points all year to a Keokuk squad that's not very good. So we definitely know that was probably against their tail enders. And yeah, it's going to be a tough night for the Indians. But again, this is a situation that we kind of talked earlier. You know, you got to play these games, and this is where you're going to find out a lot about your ball club. And we had talked about this game is not it's not a big game, and it's just a matter of you know, keeping playing hard, just keep getting better the weeks that we have coming up. But we got a whole second half to go. We're going to see some adjustments, and hopefully get something going here in the second half.
Yeah, not a must-win game, but one that could certainly get you ready for the bigger games as the season wears on for sure, because you're not going to see a team better than this.
That's a great point. You're going to have played Pella and Solon in your first 5 games. I don't think anybody else is going to be able to say that.
Instead of going direct snap, they go with a simple handoff to the big guy, Flansburgh. Flansburgh gets into the end zone, and he's slow to get up. Flansburgh, a 6'2 senior weighing 230 pounds, just a big dude, but he is still sitting down in the end zone after a 2-yard touchdown run. They just made an adjustment. Instead of having him take a direct snap and avoid having a bad exchange, they just had the quarterback, Cam Miller, help take the snap and hand it to him. He blasted through the hole, and he's able to now run off the field. But
230 pounds.
230
pounds. He could run.
Yeah. You wonder why they haven't necessarily used him too much. He only's run it 9 times for 31 yards, and that's his 2nd touchdown of the year. On for the extra point is Aiden Dahl.
My guess is a lot of these guys aren't playing the second half.
That could be it. Here's the snap. The kick is on the way from Dahl, and this one another high arcer, but it is good. And it's 22-0. Solon looking every bit the part of a state title contender. 4:37 to go in the second quarter. Oskill received the kick, down 3 scores after this quick break on the No Coast Network.
Over 30 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
Solon came in the Radio Iowa poll ranked number 2. The Des Moines Register had them at number 1. A lot of other random polls had them in the top 2. So consensus, this is a very good team, state title contender, and they are looking the part tonight.
Well, they're a team on a mission, guys. You know, you go back and look at them last year. Great ball club last year again, but who beat them? Who knocked them out? You know, Pella.
Yeah, guess who?
28-14, you know, in the playoffs. This is a team that they have a goal this year, and I'm sure their goal is to win that state title.
Yeah, Coach, right on there with you. Solon they churn out some good athletes, and this football team is ready as Casey Hill will return this from the 5-yard line for the Indians, trying to turn it up the field and gets back to the 20. That's about all he's going to get. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians from their own 20, down 22-0, 4:28 to go first half. And Doug, at this point now, we talked about trying to keep this within a 17-point game for potential wild card berth reasons, but right now I think you got to even look smaller than that. You haven't had an offensive play on the plus side of midfield. That might be a good place to start. And then scoring points. As Coach Harms mentioned, those 7 points they gave up likely were probably in garbage time in the second half. Their starters may be pitching a shutout on the year right now.
Yeah, I guarantee you that was the case, unless somebody got loose on a special teams play. But on the bright side, penalties? None. Turnovers? None. We've had some positive yardage plays. We've gotten a few first downs, albeit a couple of them have been through penalties. But and all is not lost tonight.
No, not to say the least. Here's going to be a fake handoff, good read option, and getting into the backfield immediately is Tyler Linderbaum. He's right back out there after just getting shaken up last series and a loss of 3 on the play. And I think you're getting to the point, Doug, where you might just have to abandon the run.
Yeah, last week we was able to control. We literally dominated the line of scrimmage right in the middle, and tonight we are just getting, it's like there's nobody even in front of them.
It's the old Westerns, you know, the swinging doors to the saloon.
It's a jailbreak in there.
They're big, they're fast, and they can figure out where they need to be. The snap to Howard, he's looking to throw. He's going to flush out to the right, looking down the field, fires at Chapman through his hands. Would have been first down yardage, and you don't see that. Chapman, according to Coach Jake Jenkins, has the best pair of hands on the team, and those are just the kind of catches you'd like to make because that moves the chains and gives you a little bit of positive momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a nice job by Howard. A good job by Van Velheisen. He kind of cut Linderbaum that time right at the line of scrimmage and was able to keep him away, but Chapman just let the ball go right through his hands. It would have been a first down there.
4 wide receivers now on 3rd and 13. Chapman came in as a leading receiver yardage-wise for Oskaloosa, and Howard never saw the sack coming on the right side. And a fumble was recovered by Oskaloosa inside the 5. Good heads-up play. I believe It was Van Veldhuizen on that side. No, it was Dykstra over there along with Tucker Irwin, who one of those two came up with the football. But Howard was looking to the left the whole way on the play design, and coming unblocked from the right side was Spencer Wegman, who we've talked about, and he just absolutely speared
Now, my guess
Howard.
is that Spencer Wegman is related to Casey Wegman, the ex-Hawkeye that played the NFL. Wasn't there a center, I think, for Iowa?
Yeah, for Appleton Parkersburg.
Yeah.
Here is a low snap. Van Rukel does a good job just to get it out there because that ball was destined to be a safety, but it wasn't a good punt, obviously. He didn't have any time to do anything with it. That's hard to blame on him. On the short hop snap, they'll mark it at the 18, so it's going to go down as about a 15-yard punt. And on the short field, Solon's offense come right back out here, and Oskaloosa is going to have to avoid this getting ugly. 3:08 to go in the second quarter, 22-0. Solon the lead and the football in the red zone.
Well, to put this into perspective, Oskaloosa will be favored in every game the rest of the season.
Yeah, and that's not even a joke. According to BC More rankings, they do like preliminary
by 40
lines.
in 3 of them.
Yeah, it's crazy how good
That's
this
how
Solon
good
team is.
this Solon team is.
2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 backs and a tight end. It's Harris the back. Cam Miller hasn't been asked to throw it too much, but when he's thrown it, he's been pretty accurate outside of 1 bad throw behind a receiver. He hands it off to Harris. He has stood up, Van Veldhuizen and Tanner DeCock on the tackle. Gain of 3. It'll be second and a 7 from the 15.
Well, and Solon goes double tight there. They're just kind of packing in. They're going to work on this part of their game. And Tanner gets another tackle. He's had a nice first half. He's racked up quite a few tackles.
The 2 guys who haven't seen the ball at least very much, Adam Bach, the fullback, he does have the big touchdown, but he's lined up as the fullback in this particular formation. And then they have Wegman out at the tight end, and they are just blocking everybody that they are seeing. Again, in this pistol, 2 wide receivers to the far side. The snap, fake handoff, little screen pass in the flat. Oskaloosa does a good job forcing it back inside. Gain of maybe 2 or 3. And
good defense there.
Good read.
Good flow to the ball. Good pursuit.
The catch was made on that far side by Peyton Bandy. He came in as the 4th leading receiver on the year for the Spartans. They do give him a gain of about 5 after he fell forward, and it'll be 3rd and we'll call it 4 from the Oskaloosa 12-yard line on the far side hash. Spartans coming to the line of scrimmage. 1:50 to go in the second quarter before halftime. 3 wide in a bunch formation out to the far side. 1 wide receiver to the near side. The snap is going to be a handoff, and Harris trying to get away, and he's not going to get away, but he may have first down yardage. Again, that's just good strength, fighting off a block, and also making the tackle by Tanner DeCock. He is in on almost every play up the middle.
I was watching him there. He was trying to get off a block and grab a hold of a jersey, and he was just hanging on. He did stop him a yard short, so it's 4th and 1, but he's having a heck of a night there on defense tonight.
He's being met on that second level and also making plenty of tackles. 4th and 1, the offense stays out there. Not much of a kicking game for Solon with 1:10 to go here in this second quarter. 2 wide receivers far side. Here's the snap. They are going to hand it to Harris. Harris off the right tackle, and he's going to be buried, but he does have first down yardage just shy of the 6. The gains are much smaller right now. Oskaloosa is finding ways to stuff these gaps, but they're still just gaining too much, and they're able to move the chain.
Well, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. They're not quitting, but you mentioned it, or Coach Harms mentioned it. These are games you got to play, and as you mentioned, this will make you better. I mean, you play Pella and Solon in the first 5 games.
Fairfield and Washington aren't going to look as good.
Yeah, look out. Mid-Prairie, Wellman, and Albee is not going to stack up to Pella and Solon.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's going to be a little slant pattern, and good defense. Beating Coons into the slant route was Calvin Silvers, and Coons kind of looking back at the line judge saying, hey, there was a lot of contact before the ball got here, but it was Silvers making a play on the ball.
Yeah, they went back to that play. We talked about it earlier. Mount Pleasant was able to hit a couple slants on Calvin, and Solon did earlier, but that time Calvin does a nice job in jumping in there, and he almost gets the interception.
Good job sticking his nose in there.
If I'm Calvin, I'm going to make them try to throw a fade route. You got to take away the slants down here.
Yeah, especially with no safety help because there's 3 wide to the other side. 38 seconds to go, second quarter. 3 wide to the far side. One-on-one with Silvers and Kuntz to the bottom. Here's the snap. They will hand it to the running back Harris, and he will be, look at that tackle by Tanner DeCock. Hanging on for dear life. It looks like it's going to be a touchdown all the way, and somehow, some way, he's able to wrestle into the ground by his jersey.
8 seconds. That's what you got to do. But good job by Tanner again.
Coach Harms, you're down there right now. It's clear that the Oskaloosa defense is still making some plays with, less than a minute to go here. Solon takes a timeout. But, you talked about it. Little victories here are going to be good because, as we've been talking about, the rest of your schedule will not compare to this team.
Well, that's right, guys. And that's been a good sign here the last few plays defensively. The kids have really stuck their nose in there, and instead of sitting back on their heels, they're moving everything forward, which is really good to see. So, we've all been through it as coaches. You're going to play superior teams, and I don't care. I remember a couple years ago we were up at Iowa City, and we were playing West Des Moines Valley, and, we just got annihilated up there at Iowa City in that Classic, and might have been the year that we won the state championship.
Yeah, I was there for that, Coach. You won the state title about a week and a half later.
So it's a situation where you find out, who you are and what you got to do, and you just got to shake that off, and you got games coming ahead. And as I mentioned, it's how you finish and where you finish. So we just got to keep playing here.
You also played without your best 2 pitchers that day, if I do recall. That was a rough one. Either way, back to football. 30 seconds to go here in this second quarter. They spread it out a little bit more. 3 wide to the far side. They're looking to throw into a slant pattern, and a great catch going up and getting it by Peyton Bandy. And it was good coverage on that far side by DeYoung, but just couldn't quite out jump him for the football. At 6'2", Bandy able to reel it in for a 3-yard touchdown reception.
Well, we talked about it. You can't give up slant routes down close to the goal line. You got to make them throw fades. The one thing you've got to do is jump that route and take a chance down here, and Bandy was able to just beat DeYoung to the inside and get the touchdown.
Buddy Matt Sable letting me know that you were talking about Casey Wegman. His kids' names are Bo and Stone, so Spencer must be some other relation. Here's the extra point up by Aiden Dahl, and it is good. It is 30-0. 25 seconds left. We'll keep it here momentarily, but just to reiterate what's coming up at the half, be sure to stay locked in with us right here. We are going to give you, of course, a fantastic special giveaway that is going to be happening on the field tonight, or on the track, I should say, for homecoming. We talked about the homecoming court earlier. Congratulations, homecoming king Alex DeYoung, homecoming queen Anna Jones. Of course, the Marching Indians are going to be out there, and they have more of their show done. My wife is the color guard instructor, so I've got to give her a nice little shout there. And they are, she feels really good about where they are as a music group, a band that looks to continue to improve their scores.
And do they have competitions here?
They start this week.
This week.
They did go to a kind of a clinic last Saturday to kind of start their season, but yeah, they're going to be putting more and more of their show on the field here in the next couple of weeks, and making some tweaks to it and see how well they can score in the next 6 or 7 weeks, because all I know is my wife's out of commission for the next 5 weeks or so they're going to be going all over the place and showing people what they have, the Oskaloosa Marching Indians. So we'll see what their show looks like coming up at the half as well.
Hey, and a quick shout out to Kim Guile and Danita Presley, the head of the student council. What a great week of homecoming that those kids and those sponsors put on for the student body.
Absolutely, Coach, as Adam Bach puts this high and dropped, picked up at the 3-yard line by Hill, and he's going to get out to about the 23-yard line before being brought down. There's just 19 seconds left. It's 29-0. I misspoke, and I don't see Oskaloosa taking a shot here.
No, I would take a knee, and let's go in to the locker room and
lick our wounds a little bit, get back out there with a different game plan.
It's these guys are good.
They're good. They're good. See what Oskaloosa does with just 19 seconds. They do have their full allotment of timeouts, and maybe Coach Jenkins says, we have nothing to lose. Let's just throw it up a couple of times and see what happens. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, but Howard is under center, and that's a pretty clear indication that they're willing to go to the locker room, and they will. So that will do it for the first half. Oskaloosa find themselves down on the scoreboard 29-0, but Solon maybe even better than advertised from what we've seen so far here tonight, and Oskaloosa will receive the kickoff to start the second half, looking to make some adjustments and and some improvements on what is going to be happening in the second half against, by far and away, one of the best teams in the state of Iowa. I don't care who you are, as Oskaloosa once again trailing number 2 ranked Solon 29-0 here at the half. We do have a giveaway that should be coming up. Dance Dynamics is going out on the field, and the Marching Indians will be here, so we'll go ahead and keep it here until those groups are performing.
And the winner is Bob Drost.
They are doing a giveaway over the PA right now. And it looks as though familiar faces are making their way onto the track to do a full-on giveaway. Every home game so far this season and all season long, all 4 of the home games, you will be seeing giveaways for the Oskaloosa Community School District. So let's go ahead and go to our PA announcer and then down to the track to hear what our giveaway is tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to direct your attention to the track in front of the grandstands. Tonight, Hy-Vee is celebrating fan appreciation.
Good evening, Hy-Vee. We're very proud to be a part of the community and all the great support that we get from this town. So on behalf of the Oskaloosa Hy-Vee, we're happy to $1,000 back to the schools. All right, keeping with a football theme tonight, we're going to give away a tailgate package. It's a grill, cooler, camp chairs, a meat bundle, and a $100 Hy-Vee gift card. Two, 7, 3, 5, 4, 8, 8. Congratulations. Come on down.
Awesome, thank you. Thanks, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to direct your attention to the middle of the field on the 50-yard line. Now for your homecoming halftime entertainment, Dance Dynamics will perform their hoopla routine.
Stay here, definitely go down. Let's get a little air. We're not trying to leave. I gotta get my blood up and get over here before it sticks to the chair. Oh, you got your blue ticket? Might as well throw your blue ticket away. There's no good anymore. Just gonna throw the garbage down there. Garbage right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Dance Dynamics.
Dance Dynamics, nice performance there as always. Dance team near and dear to a lot of these folks' hearts, and of course another activity that gets a lot of publicity and a lot of participation is the marching band and the music programs under the direction of Rich Waddington, and they are taking the field right now. Once again, the score at the half is 29-0. Solon with a big lead. They look every bit the contender for a state title that you would think by looking at their schedule and what they've been able to do on paper so far this season. And as the Marching Indians are getting themselves set for this halftime, I'd like to remind you, after the games go final tonight, be sure to check out Scores and More presented by Bubbler. That is going to be on both 104.9 FM KBOE and right here on KMZN. And along with both of those, both of the games that we have on our airwaves, we'll have reports from several other area games and also get you lined up for exactly all the scores and what the district standings will look like after tonight's action. So don't want to miss that after the game goes final here on KBOE and KMZN. Let's go ahead and go back down to the field for the Oskaloosa Marching Indians.
Performance is based on the music of Gustav Holst, landmark composition The Planets. It has been slightly more than 100 years since its composition. Tonight we present to you Mars, the bringer of war, and Mercury, the winged messenger, and Jupiter, the bringer of jollity. Is the band ready? Marching Indians, the field is yours for halftime performance.
That's really
for the Oskaloosa Marching Indians.
And the Marching Indians for Oskaloosa High School. A great show as they have most of that onto the field now. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll check out some scores, get you some stats, and get you ready for the second half kickoff. At the half, it's Solon, second-ranked team in the state, leading Oskaloosa 29-0 here on the No Coast Network.
MCG's new gigabit internet is here, and it's a real gig deal!
Connect all your devices, download an HD movie in 7 seconds.
Get unlimited use, no limits, no data caps, and no slowdown.
And stream a video with no buffering, ever.
Work, play, create, innovate with MCG internet.
Call to get your upgrade free for 30 days.
Buffering video, spinning wheels are over!
You deserve the best, and MCG delivers.
Beers and Bigs, tasty food, great beer, and a good cause. You're invited to a fundraiser for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Mahaska County on Saturday, October 7th. Enjoy 4 delicious courses expertly prepared by On the Green. Each course comes paired with the bold flavor of a local no-coast brew. Beers and Bigs. Happy hour starts at 6 p.m. Dinner served at 7. Call for reservations for Saturday, October 7th, and help us start a Big Brothers Big Sisters in Mahaska County.
The Oskaloosa Herald presents Fan Appreciation Night at the next Oskaloosa Indians home game. Pack in Lacey Stadium on October 6th to support your Indians and watch them crush the Keokuk Chiefs. The Herald is giving away an iPad mini plus an Oskaloosa gift basket. Every paid entry gets a chance to win. The varsity game starts at 7:30 p.m. Come see the Oski Indians versus the Keokuk Chiefs game on Fan Appreciation Night, October 6th. Presented by the Oskaloosa Herald.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
It's halftime. Oskaloosa trailing second-ranked Solon 29-0. I like to use the Radio Iowa rankings, but a lot of these polls have them at number 1. And Doug DeCock, my partner, we can see why. They look every bit the part of a state title contender.
They sure do. I will be extremely surprised if anybody can knock these guys off. They are just one heck of a football team. They are well coached. They are balanced. They are athletic. They are smart. They're the whole package. You know, I'm proud of the Indians, the way we played. Although it's 29-0, they had two. You know, they had the first drive and then the quick score, and then they had a couple short fields, which, you know, we made them take 7-8 plays to get in. But we're competing. It's just too much for us right now. They, you know,
they're too much for a lot of people.
Yeah, they're too much for a lot of people, and you know, we're gonna. This makes you better. I was involved in one of these games, and it was in a state championship game against Harlan, and we got beat up pretty bad. That just happened to be the last game I ever played, but I don't see in that game, it can be a helpless feeling when they're running the ball on you like that, and you're constantly, you know, you're making stops, but they're 4 yards. It's so deflating, because you're like, man, what do we do, and so forth. But One thing you can take from this, and we took it from that Harlan game, that Harlan team was rated one of the top 5 best teams ever in the state of Iowa, and that's in any class. And I think tonight we're seeing one of the top teams in the state of Iowa, and that's in any class.
I cannot disagree with you. Remember, this is the same team that put a 33-0 whomping on one of the best teams in Class 1A, and that's Iowa City Regina earlier this year. And they've only allowed 7 points total all year, and we believe that was garbage time against Keokuk. So that tells you a little bit about that. And some of the statistics, Oskaloosa struggling to run the ball. In fact, if you count the loss of yardage on punts and whatnot, Oskaloosa actually minus 31 in rushing yards. They do have some positive yardage passing the ball, but that's just one thing. You're just looking to try to move the football a little bit in the second half. For Solon, it's just a good balance. 130 yards rushing, 120 passing, but of those 120, 75 came on the one big one to Adam, their slot receiver slash fullback, Adam Bach, who came across the field and made a fantastic play and scored the long touchdown. So other than that, Oskaloosa's defense definitely stepped it up as the game wore on. We'll see if that continues here in the second half. Homecoming, you never like to lose in homecoming by any means, but it's going to get you ready for the rest of the season, I can tell you that. Let's go ahead and quickly run through some scores that we do have from the rest of the listening area if you're just joining us. And most of these are halftime scores. None of them are final at this point. Newton leads Marshalltown 28-7. Tumwa and Linn-Mar in a tight one in Marion, 28-21 there. Of course, our game 29-0 in favor of Solon. Pella leading Grinnell at the half 40-0. The 7th-ranked team, they've rebounded quite a bit from that loss a couple weeks ago against Allison or Grimes. Carlisle-Knoxville, pretty tight game at the half, 22-13. Carlisle still with the lead. Albion, Eddyville-Blacksburg-Fremont getting close to halftime, still scoreless in that one. I thought
that's a surprise there.
I thought EBF was going to kind of put it to them this year after putting it to Davis County last week. So we'll have to see how that one turns out. PCM putting it on Central Lee. That's the second best team on paper, at least you think. Them and EBF are going to be kind of battling for that second spot. And PCM's up 42-0 at the half against what could be the second best team in that district.
And PCM got handled by PC.
Kind of. It was a 2-point loss.
Oh, I thought it was more than that.
No, but they did get beat by a school class size smaller. We did the math on that, me and Brian Myers, on South by South Central this Wednesday. That district is like you can composite like the strength of the district, and there's only 2 Class A districts that are weaker than that Class 2A district. So that kind of tells you where they're at. It's a tough place to be, but if you're PCM, just take care of business, get to the playoffs, see what you can do. Another quick couple of scores here for you. Pella Christian does lead big over Mount Ayr, 49-14. Pleasantville a big lead over Woodward Academy, 32-0. BGM battling with top-ranked Gladbrook Rhinebeck at the half, 17-7 the score there. Linville-Sully putting it on Winfield Mount Union, 48-0 at the half. New London leading North Mahaska in our game of the week, 48-6. And that's all the area scores we have as Adam Bach tees it up and kicks it off. We're ready to go. Second half action. And at the 20-yard line, Oskaloosa bringing it up is Keaton DeCock trying to find some space. And he'll gain about 4 yards on the return. A little pooch kick. Little pooch kick trying to get a guy who doesn't handle the ball too much.
He looked like he wanted to hand it off or pitch it back to one of the other guys, but he ran it up in there. I was sitting here quietly going, get down, get down.
Don't hurt yourself. Well, and I like that. If you're just trying to eliminate big play opportunities, just kick it to an up back or a blocker. And that's exactly what happened there for Solon. Oskaloosa is coming to split it out with 5 wide receivers. Seth Howard in the shotgun, and we'll see how this look goes. Oski down 29-0 here, start of the second half. 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line.
It's a little different look here.
Yeah, you haven't seen this too much this year from Oskaloosa with 5 wide receivers. Here's the snap. Howard a little quick out to Chapman, who goes to his knees, makes a catch for 6 yards on first down, 2nd and 4 coming up.
Well, and here's what I like about it. So now you have Cole Henry in closer to the quarterback with his height.
Yeah, he's in the slot.
He's in the slot. You got Tanner split wide out. You got Tyler Miller in between them. I like it. Empty backfield.
What do you have to lose? Let's see what you got here. And again, their first-team offense or first-team defense hasn't, we don't think, allowed a score all year. So that's at play here. 2nd and 4 from the 30. Miller's coming in motion. And a snap, they'll fake the jet sweep, throw it into the flat. This is Henry on the catch, tries to shed a tackle, and he can't. Gains a couple, but that is Kendrick Harris, a fantastic tackle on the outside. And it seems like it's the same athletes on both sides of the ball for this team.
Well, that once again, a good execution. They ran that play, I think, earlier, and they get exactly what they want. They one-on-one. It's just trying to get away from these guys. They just don't miss tackles.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Ball on the Oskaloosa 32 as the Indians go into the wind, going from left to right. 5 wide receivers. It's Chapman, Hill, and Miller all to the near side with Henry and DeCock to the far side. In the gun on 3rd and 2. Far hash. Howard takes a snap, and he's looking to throw. Under pressure, he fires off his back foot, and it's intercepted by Adam Bach. That time the pressure was getting to him, and a hit as he threw the football, once again by Spencer Wegman. He didn't have any time. It was going to be take a sack, loss of 10, punt it away, or just throw it up and see if your guy can make a play. And Adam Bach, of all people, who else but Wegman and Bach making, tandem on the play to get the turnover.
And they're just overpowering our guys. I mean, our guys were in front of them that time. They were just pushing them back into them. We were trying to run, so we found out right there we cannot run 15-yard routes because that just takes too long. We need to stay with the short dink and dunk stuff.
10:29 to go.
And if you're going to run that type of route, you just lay it up.
Oh, right.
Just let her fly.
I don't think he was
out there.
prepared to have to throw the ball that quickly. Ball on the 46 in Oski territory, and again, Cam Miller and his offense back out there. 2 backs, Bach the fullback. He'll fake it to Kendrick Harris and get it to Bach in the flat, and Calvin Silvers will make the tackle with some help with Dykstra in on the play as well. Gain of about 4 to the 42-yard line, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, nice play by Calvin there on the corner.
It's about improvement for a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
Because remember, Silvers wasn't really even on the 2 deep that first week.
Well, we do get a cornerback next week.
Mamoon?
Zuhair Mamoon, and he's a hitter. So that will strengthen up our defense a little bit, I think.
2 backs, 3 wide receivers, 2 on the near side. It is Harris, the running back. Takes the snap, does Miller, hands it to Harris. And Harris runs through a couple of tacklers. Tanner again on the stop. And Van Rukel helps finish the job. A gain of about 5, and it'll be 3rd and 1.
Hey, I was going to mention, guys, I don't know if you saw up there in that first offensive series for the Indians, a new center in the lineup. I don't have my program, number 53.
Yeah, Hunter Else.
Hunter Else.
Good call there, Coach. I saw him warming up, and I didn't know if they were going to make that adjustment. Else is a year older than Noah Van Veldhuizen, but he's been the center the entire season thus far. Deciding to change it up to see if it adds to the rhythm a little bit here. 3rd and 1 from the Oskaloosa 37. Here's going to be a snap, and they're going to hand it to the big guy coming around is Flansburgh, and he's going to get met by Van Rukel. What a hit.
So negative yardage there. Nice play by Van Rukel, sniffing that one out and dropping the runner for a loss of 2 there. So the Oskaloosa defense still competing.
That's a great job because that is a big boy. We talk about it. Flansburgh, his name is Cole, and as C-O-A-L, like a lump of coal. I mean, the guy just sounds like he's, a big bruiser. And he did score a touchdown earlier at 6'2", 230. He loses 2 on that play on a great form tackle by Van Rukel, but the offense stays out here in no man's land.
And Kendrick Harris has to go out of the game. Looks like he's cramping up a little bit.
They have 4 wide, 3 to the near side, and it's Kula in the backfield. 4th and 3. They'll hand it to Kula. No, they'll fake it. Tipped by Dykstra. Intercepted by DeCock. He's going to be across midfield. Coming from behind and making the tackle along with the quarterback Cam Miller. It looked like that was Ben Kreutzfeldt.
Nice play by Dykstra.
Hey, that's the first interception thrown this year by Cam Miller, and Dykstra gets the tip. The tip drill allows Tanner DeCock on the pick, and Oskaloosa will run a play for the first time in the game on the Solon side of the field at their 34 after the pick and return. 8:14 to go, 3rd quarter, and Oskaloosa in scoring position potentially here.
Well, great job by Dykstra getting his hands up and deflecting the ball that fell right into Tanner's hands. And Oskaloosa in business on the Solon side of the field tonight.
Jared Cruz for the first time is out on offense. He's on the far side as the wide receiver. He's out there with DeCock, and it looks like Hill with Cole Henry and Miller.
Solon has 2 small corners here. Now they got to pick which one they're going to defend.
Here's the snap. Howard, a quick throw over to Henry. He makes the catch at the 30.
That's all right.
A good tackle was made by Storm Scott. His helmet flies off. He's got to come out for a play.
That's 5 yards right there almost, 4 yards. That's a nice play. That's exactly what we got to do right there.
Ball at the 30. Remember, Oskaloosa has not run a play until that one on this side of the field. 5 wide receivers, 3 still to the far side. They're kind of manned up alongside these guys with 1 deep safety. But again, the line is getting field, so Howard's got to make quick decisions. He's in the gun by himself. Ball in the near hash, takes the snap, looking to throw. Under pressure again, steps up and dodges it. And he for it inside the 30, makes a man miss, dives forward, and he should have first down yardage to the 23 and a late flag. And he might gain more yardage as Jackson Pipolo made a little bit of a late hit jumping on top of him as he dove forward after a gain of 6. It'll move the sticks and maybe half the distance to the goal here.
Well, and I was watching Hunter Elson there at center. Nice snap. He got the ball back there quick, and he got in front of his guy. The pressure came from the outside. So personal foul on Solon, and Oskaloosa now knocking at the door, and this is a major event.
What you need to do is you need to erase the 29 points on the scoreboard, and I've seen a couple movies. Win the half. If you can win the half against this team, man, you are going to be feeling good going against Fairfield on the road next week. 5 wide once again, 3 on the far side, 2 to the near side. Oskaloosa with Howard in the gun. Ball after the half the distance to the goal. Penalty on the personal foul. Puts it at the 12-yard line in the red zone. And Oskaloosa's not even sniffed this part of the field so far tonight. Howard takes a snap and he's looking to throw. Got a little more time. Fires a little fader to the outside. Caught! Touchdown, Jared Cruz! And Oskaloosa on the scoreboard with 7:04 to go, third quarter. And this, you said it, this is an event.
That is a celebration, a cause for celebration. And what a job. Cruz kind of deked the defender like the ball wasn't even coming. And then at the last minute, was able to catch it back shoulder. So Oskaloosa putting a little, now they're only 1 score getting in within that 17.
And that's what we said the goal was.
That's right.
Now Solon, obviously, I think maybe this will be a little slap in the face wake up for them, and we'll see how they come out as the extra point lined up by Blom. Howard gets it down. The extra point is up, and it is good. Oskaloosa does get on the board. 7:04 to go, third quarter, 29-7. The teams exchange interceptions, but the Indians strike first. Still plenty of ways to go, down 22. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
Oskaloosa throws an interception on their first possession, but get one right back. And then the return by Tanner DeCock after the tip by Nick Dykstra puts the ball inside Solon territory for the first time in the game. Another big Solon penalty helps aid the possession. And then a 12-yard touchdown pass from Seth Howard to Jared Cruz, who appeared on offense for the first time in a couple of weeks. And just like that, it's 29-7. But as mentioned, Doug, there are a couple of goals here. You want to outscore them in the half because that's never been done. That's just the second score that they've given up all year of any kind. And then you also would like to get this under 17 if possible, and with another touchdown, you're within that. So you never know what can happen here. Solon might have taken the foot off the gas pedal a little bit.
Well, I thought Oskaloosa played well there in that defensive series.
Here is a kickoff. Blom, he'll have it returnable at the 8-yard line. Here's Adam Bach up the gut. Blom misses the tackle, and here goes Bach, and he's going to go inside the 20. And there's a flag late on the field.
Well,
I don't know what it's going to be.
That's a bad call. I was watching that. He did not block him in the back.
Young was kind of sitting there trying to sell a block in the back. That was so late, the flag was. But that would erase the touchdown by Adam Bach. Who else but Adam Bach?
Well, that's one of the few breakdowns we've had on kick team there.
Ever this year.
Not sure. Do we have the replay on that? I don't think you're going to see a block in the back.
There's a second flag just got thrown on the coaching staff of Solon.
They're tired of this one-sided.
Well, it is crazy one-sided.
Yeah,
penalties are tonight.
And I feel for them. You know, we've been on the other side of this most of the time.
Yeah, it's tough. I agree with you there, Doug. I didn't see any flags, and then right at the end of the play, they threw one. And then they're going to
warning, sideline warning.
It's a sideline warning, so that will not be a 15-yarder, but the next time it will be.
I'd like to see a replay on that.
Well, we have been informed, though, that the replay machine.
Oh, okay.
We had some folks that had the TriCaster that we like to use. And
well,
we'd love to see a replay, and our crew here for the Oskaloosa Video Production Program does a great job of getting us the replays usually, but due to circumstances.
Yes, they do. I feel for you, Solon. I know exactly how you feel.
That's a rough call. Coach, did you see anything down there that would warrant that flag?
No, I didn't. I thought he was in front of him, but he just went and cut him down, and he was standing right there and threw it, so he must have thought that he got him from behind.
Maybe somebody's got a wager on a line in this game.
It could be.
6:49 to go, and now after instead of a touchdown, it's 1st and 10 from the 41 in Oski territory. Good defense. Way to stay at home, fighting off a block. Nick Dykstra tackling Kendrick Harris, I think, for the first time for a loss.
And the Indians have a lot of life out there. They're playing fired up, inspired football right now. And another loss on the play there. Good job by Dykstra. He's having an excellent second half.
2nd and 11 coming up. My goodness. How quickly things can change. That was a great return by Bach, which looked like it was going to be a touchdown, but not to be, as Kula is going to be the back now entering the game. We'll see the changeup with a little speed back.
Yeah, that was one of the few times Blom didn't get her in the end zone, guys.
Yeah. That's why you need touchbacks, Doug, I'm telling you. Here's the snap. This will be Kula, a little stretch play to the right. He turns it upfield, and he's got a little burst.
Good hit.
He is hit hard and goes down. Van Rukel.
That is the way you hit. Was it Van Rukel or Miles?
Nope, that was Jaden.
That's the way you got to fill the hole right there. Excellent job by Jaden. That's exactly what you got to do as a safety. You got to read that and attack.
5:40 to go in this third quarter and counting. 29-7, Oskaloosa trailing by 22, but that's not really the storyline at this point. It's that they're playing better as time's going on here. 3rd and about 4 from the 35 in Oski territory. This will be another handoff, and turning it up is Kula. And, man, look at him just bowling ball his way forward. A hat comes off in the middle of that. And Kula's got himself first down yardage to the 30, and it was his helmet that flew off.
Yeah, I thought they had him stopped there, and the pile just kept moving. Them linemen do a good job of staying with their blocks, keeping their feet moving. And they was able to move the Oskaloosa pile about 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, we got Blake down, yep. Part of the shoulder.
It's something. It's definitely not a cramp or something that he can easily walk off the field, and he's going to have his seat.
Might be a cramp.
Yeah, we'll see. But how about that run by Cooley? He's just 5'6", but sometimes we talk about it, and you hear coaches talk about it, having that low center of gravity, even if you're not the widest guy in the world, that still really helps you get leverage to fall forward and gain yards. And he's done that all game long. He's hit the hole hard, and he's fought for extra yardage, and that keeps the...
Yeah, it's his left shoulder. That Blake is a beast.
That's not been something that any mere mortal will be able to play a football game with on a week in and week out basis.
No, they put his finger in. They put his shoulder in one game. I mean, the kid is going to play no matter what. Now, you just don't want to... We need to get out of here healthy. We're getting
more
healthier.
so than more so than just try to come back from a 29-point deficit on one of the best teams in the state. I think it may make more sense to try to save some of these big-time players and live to fight the rest of the season. We'll see how it goes, though. 5:15 to go. Here's going to be a handoff. Harris back in the game, and he blasts through the hole for a gain of about 4. Gang of Indians on the stop, namely Jared Cruz.
Well, Tanner's, we're going up to the Hawkeye game tomorrow, and I think we're going to have to put him in an ice bucket on the way because he's making a lot of plays there. His tackling is much better tonight.
What a hot take on that game tomorrow.
Penn State is going to rout them.
I feel like it's going to look a lot like this game does right now.
Yeah, the spread is 12.5, and you just don't see that in Iowa City.
2nd and about 6. Ball spotted at the 27-yard line. Got a tight end now, and they're going to hand it to Harris, and he's going to follow the fullback right up the hole. I love when offenses use fullbacks. As he's tackled at the 20, gain of 7, move the chains. When you have a fullback in the game willing to block, and Adam Bach has done a great job as a lead blocker, but that is just taking me back to the glory days of Daryl Johnston leading the way for Emmitt Smith and being able to kick out a linebacker or just
Rocky Blyer for Franco Harris.
Yeah, just lead the way, you know.
Matt Suey for Walter Payton.
It's so unsung, but it helps tremendously take at least one hit off your running back.
Yeah, Oskaloosa jam in the middle here trying to stop this run.
Here's the snap, handoff to Harris, and not much there this time as Oskaloosa, a good gang tackle there. But, Coach, you're down on field level. What are you seeing?
Well, I was just going to ask you guys, how far are you going to go back there between fullbacks and running backs?
Well, I mean, if we go too far back to like the Jim Browns and the Marion Motleys and the Bronco Nagurskis, they actually handled the ball quite a bit.
Okay, who was O.J. Simpson's fullback?
You're talking about the Buffalo Bills of the early 70s.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills. Now there's Joe DeLamalure.
See, I was going to go back to Bill Brown and Dave Osborne for the Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh, Dave Osborne, that is. We are getting in classic Minnesota
Chuck
Vikings.
Foreman was
Iowa native or Iowa alum Paul Krause, all-time interceptions leader for that Vikings team in the early 70s. This is going to be another look. Kula just kind of. Did you see that?
Big Biscuits just came back.
Knocked him down. Like, did you see, though, that the acceleration he had, I think he was patient trying to wait for the hole to get there, and it never came. So he just ran as fast as he could to the corner and was met by a big body.
Yeah, Bob Evans' Big Biscuits just stopped him cold. But he does. He turns it up, and he accelerates.
Inside of 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 29-7. I think Adam Bach probably missed.
Look, watch out for a pass here. Tight end leaking out.
3rd and 6
on
from
this
the
end.
16. Got to get to the 10 for a first down in Oskaloosa territory. They have 2 wide receivers at the far side, and they'll fake the handoff, looking to throw backside, and that is going to be caught. What a catch! Breaks a tackle, and then lit up by Van Rukel at the 3-yard line.
Well, Van Rukel starting to lay some wood.
My goodness.
He hit him hard there.
How about the catch, though, by Spencer Wegman, and then staying on his feet after he broke the tackle? It's been Wegman and Bach that have impressed me the most on this team.
Wow, and that's the exact play. I just called it. I said, look out for the tight end on this side on the pass play, and that's exactly what they did.
And Miller just put it up there where he can get it.
And Silvers almost had the ball. Was it Silvers over here?
Silvers.
And then he wrestles it away from Silvers and is able to advance it till Van Rukel just laid the smack down on him.
Well, he missed that tackle on the big play on Bach, and he hasn't missed a beat since.
No, he's picked up his game, and that's great to see.
2 wide receivers to the far side. Here's a snap, a handoff. Kulo to off right guard, close to the goal line, and he is in. The football broke the plane, so they do answer with a touchdown of their own. But the Oskaloosa defense still, you have to tip your cap to them. They're still playing really hard and very well.
They're hitting. I mean, and Solon has not backed off. Their coaches are mad.
Yeah.
Their team is mad.
Yes.
And they did not back off. And Oskaloosa sitting there trading blow for blow with them right here. They're scoring, but they're making them earn it.
2:29 to go, third quarter, 35-7. The extra point going to be looked up. Aiden Dahl rather, on the extra point. The snap, hold, kick on the way, and this one is good. 36-7. It's Solon back up by 29, but Oskaloosa making them earn it. 2:29 to go here in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and be back with the kickoff after this on the No Coast Network.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
$36-7, Solon gets back down the field. What probably should have been a touchdown return after the Oskaloosa score, called back on an illegal block in the back. A little bit of a interesting call, but Solon still scores, but it allows Oskaloosa's defense to go out there. And, man, they are punishing Solon ball carriers. They are starting to really make a difference at the line of scrimmage as well, and that's just good to see in the third quarter, because sometimes you'll see a team start out like that in the first quarter, and then the next 3 quarters they don't have it. Oskaloosa, as the game continues to wear on, they are getting better.
They absolutely are getting better. Their defense is really improving here from the second drive on that long play. They have improved, and they continue to improve. One other thing I want to point out, Seth Howard had a rough game last week at Mount Pleasant. He has thrown the ball, I think, very well tonight on a lot of these short routes, and he's done a good job. He's having a good game, so it's nice to see Seth bounce back and get some confidence back.
Bach, the kick. 10-yard line, returnable for Miller, and he's going to cut it up middle of the field, go to the far side, break a tackle, and oh yeah, by the way, Adam Bach on the tackle at the 30-yard line.
Now, there was he might be the guy that's popped up as an all-state linebacker type guy. Is he playing linebacker for them? There was somebody other than Linderbaum that is on the watch list now for Solon, and it was a linebacker.
Let me go ahead and find my people. See if I can't find something for you. He's apparently a good baseball player.
Yeah, Linderbaum played baseball. We played Solon in the semifinals of the USSSA state tournament and had one heck of a game years ago.
First down. This one kind of flutters out of the hand of Howard and short of the intended target, Henry, on a long throw across the field. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. Coach, you're down there. And I've been talking about the same 2 or 3 guys. Bach, of course, you got Wigman, who's been fantastic. But there's a lot of other guys making a big difference, especially up front for this Solon team.
Yeah, we talked, guys, practically the whole game. They're just a total package. They just have so many weapons, and they just, so disciplined. Such a good, solid football team. It's going to take somebody really good to, I think, beat this ball club.
5 wide receivers for Oskaloosa, 2nd and 10. Howard takes a snap, looking to throw a little slant this one. Henry, I think, was going to settle in and just kind of sit in front of the safety, and Howard thought he was going to continue his route. This is a miscommunication by 2 guys, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Well, and you're right, Emery. He did. He kind of sat down right there in the open area instead of continuing. Howard thought he was going to continue his route. It would have been a nice pitch and catch. We've made 2 adjustments on the offensive line. Hunter Else in at center, and Coots is in back at left guard. He was out last week, but Hunter is doing a fantastic job of getting that center snap back to the quarterback quick.
It's going to be another snap and throw. Back shoulder, a good attempt on that sideline by Jared Cruz, but can't quite reel it in, and that'll bring up a 4th and 10, and Oskaloosa likely to punt here. You don't want to do anything crazy. Maybe risk injury, just go out there and try to flip field position here.
I was going to tell you guys, Coach Jenkins came over and talked to me on the sidelines on that play that Calvin went for the interception. They said they knew that play was coming, and they gave the thumbs up to Calvin to go after the interception, but he said the receiver just a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger was able to take the ball away from him.
That's Wegman. As Van Ruckel back to punt on 4th and 10. And the kick is away. That's a spirally low kick toward the sideline. It'll squirt out of bounds. It's a much better kick than we've seen from Van Ruckel here in the last couple of times. They'll mark it out at about the 36 in Solon's own territory with 2:01 to go here in the third quarter. Solon leading 36-7. But as far as I'm concerned, Doug, score's not important. Right now, we're seeing improvement against a very good Solon team for Oskaloosa. And at the very least, you're going to head into that Fairfield game knowing that you can compete in the trenches with the athletes that maybe are going to be on the state championship winning team in Class 3A this year. And also know that your toughest games are now behind you.
Yeah, if you're Oskaloosa, you're just gaining confidence right now. Seeing Cruz back out there on offense, your defense, the way they're starting to hit. I like what I'm seeing out of Oskaloosa.
3 wide receivers near side. This is going to be a handoff. Harris blasts through the hole. DJ Miles puts a good lick on him after a gain of about 11, and that'll move the chains. Harris, not Harris. Yeah, Kendrick Harris. That is about as hard as you're going to see a guy hit the hole. I mean, he just flew through that little gap, and Miles a great tackle, but he was already 11 yards downfield by the time he got first contact.
Yeah, and you hear announcers say it, and I'll say it, and it's running downhill, and it's just a wave coming at you if you're on defense. So Big run there by Solon gives them a first down at their own 47-yard line.
And he is a solid, 6 foot tall, 185, and he packs a punch. 3 wide to the far side, and he'll get it again, does Harris, and he's dragging guys this time. Silvers will try to wrestle him down. Not Silvers. I can't quite see. Miles was in there along with Dykstra. That's who it was in there, and that's going to be a gain of about 5 into Oskaloosa territory to the 48-yard line. 2nd and 5 coming up.
Well, and this is actually one of the few teams that Oskaloosa so-called might be bigger than, but by these guys aren't 150. They're 185, 210, 215. And they can run, they can tackle. They're just excellent athletes, and even though they're not big, they'll lay a smack on you, and they're showing it tonight.
3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side on 2nd and 5. Inside of a minute to play 3rd quarter. This will be a fake handoff, and keeping it himself is Cam Miller. He gets to the outside around the numbers and will be dragged down by Van Rukel, but he will have right at the sticks maybe short of the 6 by about a yard. They gain a 4. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Well, I'm seeing Van Rukel grow up right here before my eyes tonight. He is now starting to play the safety position with the aggressiveness that it needs to be played and coming up and hitting people. So that is, like we mentioned a little bit ago, we're seeing improvement here, even though the score is like it is. Oskaloosa is improving.
That'll be the end of the quarter as both teams will switch sides. 36-7, Solon with a 29-point lead, but the teams have scored each 7 points in this second half, and the Indians are improving rapidly in front of our eyes tonight. We'll take a short break and be back with the 4th quarter after this right here on the No Coast Network.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
12 minutes on the clock, 4th quarter about to start. It's 3rd and 1 for Solon on the far hash, going from left to right into the wind, but with a 36-7 lead. They're at the Oskaloosa 44-yard line. 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers, 2 backs. Miller takes the snap, hands it to Harris. Nice jump cut, and he's going to go to the outside, try to cut it up. Silvers will make the tackle, but inside the 30, down to about the 27-yard line. And you can go ahead and move the chains on that one. He's shifty. Now, see, Kula's got that speed burst to him and that low center of gravity, but he just seems like he is more of a complete back.
Yeah, and he did. He caught Tanner. Tanner came on a little outside blitz there, and he didn't break down quite far enough, and he was able to jump cut him and get by him. But, yeah, he's shifty through them holes, and they explode through the holes.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side, and the 2 backs. The fullback is Bach. The deep back is Kendrick Harris. Cam Miller, the quarterback, hands it off to him right up the gut, and he is met and driven backwards.
That was a good hit.
Cole Craver comes on late, but it was Miles and DeCock, Tanner DeCock.
Nice hit by Tanner there.
Tanner and Miles getting DJ Miles, we missed him for a couple of weeks, but now he's playing most snaps tonight and on special teams as well. And he looks like the player that we thought we were going to be seeing for Oskaloosa at that linebacker position.
Yeah, our linebacking core looks like a bright spot tonight. Been a little bit critical of them early in the year here, but tonight they seem to be doing a decent job. They have to.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 2 backs. Miller in the pistol again, and he's going to fake the handoff, look to throw, makes a man miss, and he's just going to try to ad-lib, get forward somehow to about the 21-yard line, a gain of about 3, maybe 4, and you just have to tip your cap to him because he made Nick Dykstra and a couple other guys completely whiff on him when they had him dead to rights in the backfield because Oskaloosa blew up the play.
Well, here's a big 3rd down and 3, so Oskaloosa making Solon they're getting them in third down, you know.
That first drive, it was just first,
Yeah,
second down,
yeah.
first, second down, big gain, run it right down the field. And since then, Solon, other than the big 75-yard pass play, they've had to earn it going down the field, and they have.
They have, but they've converted third downs. Oskaloosa's been hanging in there.
3 wide once again on 3rd and about 3 from the 20 on the edge of the red zone. Miller takes the snap, and he'll fake the handoff throw, hit as he throws, and the ball knocked down. Nice hit by Dykstra, and that'll bring up a 4th and 3. And again, the kicking game not really a thing for this particular team.
Well,
Aiden Dahl has shown the ability to kick extra points, but that's not quite what they're looking at here, which would be a 37-yard field goal.
Both our defensive ends now, you got Cruz over there at 6'4", 6'5", got his hands up, and that is how you, another way to stop slants. Number one, your cornerback jumping it, but the best way is for your guys to get their hands up and make it difficult to throw that pass. So I think Solon's going to run the ball here for 3 yards, try to get the 3 yards.
4th and 3. They've not attempted a field goal on the season. They're going to actually pass the ball, and it's tipped again by Cruz.
Good defense.
Jared Cruz.
Yes.
A couple of tips. He's got a touchdown tonight, and closer to getting himself to full strength. And again, Oskaloosa has scored with Solon. I know Solon had a 29-point lead, but it doesn't matter. I mean, this has to be as good a test Solon's going to see all season.
Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. It's 7-7 here in the second half, and we saw the Solon coaches were fired up, and they're not just throwing this away right now.
No.
If Oskaloosa can go down and score, that is going to be a highlight again for the night. And even though it could end up beyond the 17-point, they competed after those first few plays,
and
drives.
If you take care of the rest of the schedule like Oskaloosa probably is expected to at this point, you don't have to worry about that point differential at all.
No.
5 wide receivers, 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side rather, with Seth Howard in the shotgun. Again, Else is the center. We're waiting on something. Coach, what's going on down there? What are they? Oh, is there an equipment issue going on?
Down here by the Oskaloosa bench right now, Oskaloosa got an injured player that they're just kind of taking a look at here. Precautions going on right now.
Oh, all right. Well, whatever's on the field they got figured out, and we'll check back in with that as well. But for the most part, Oskaloosa's looked very solid in the second half. 9:49 to go in regulation. Howard takes the snap, looking to throw under pressure, flushes out to the right, looking down the field, pump fake, fires across his body, just short of his intended man. It was a good idea, and it was a good job by Hill to kind of sit down there, but Howard on the run, that's not an easy throw to make.
Well, and he was open. All he's got to do is lay it up there, and he was open. We're looking down here. Is that Tommy Kuhn? Is that number 82, Coach?
Tommy Kuhn that they're taking out. They called for his parents to come down, and I talked to Laura a little bit, and she wanted the parents to come down and talk to them, and it looks like they're going to maybe take him out, and I think possibly take him to the hospital to get looked at.
All right, well, our thoughts with him. We didn't see anything that happened. Maybe it's just some lightheadedness or some dehydration. You hope it's that simple as Hill drops the ball in the flat on a 5-yard out.
Excellent pass by Howard there.
Yeah, it was pretty solid coverage again by Ryan Gestkemper, who likely could have made the tackle after just the 5-yard gain. You want your back to make that catch, but you talked about the discipline in their coverage. We haven't seen a guy, unless it's been a broken play, with really more than 2 yards of room on any given pass play tonight.
No, I mean, even our catches, they've been right with us. They're all athletic, and they can all run.
And they're smart. They know where to be.
Yep.
And flag comes down, and I think we got
illegal substitution or something?
No, just a false start. I was going to say, they've kept the same 11 out there, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 15 from their own 15-yard line now for Oskaloosa here. But I think that gives Solon a lot of opportunities as well. We talk about they force so many turnovers. They only have the 1 interception on the back throw, but they've done such a good job in just making sure guys don't get wide open.
We got Cole Henry one-on-one over there. Just throw it up quick and let Henry run under it.
Yeah,
Against this really short guy over there. You got to look that safety off right when you get the snap, but then just turn and throw it up.
They have one safety deep, about 25 yards off the line of scrimmage. Low snap. Howard does pick it up, but he has nowhere to go with it, and that is going to be a sack for Spencer Wegman. We talked about Wegman. We talked about Bach. 2 guys who may not have their name plastered all over the stat sheet both offensively and defensively, but they've both been fantastic tonight, and that's the first time we've seen a bad snap from a brand new snapper, and Hunter Else, who's tipped in this game, has been really solid. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that as the season goes on. As A.J. Coons, where has he been in this game?
Well, he doesn't like the fair catch either. He's really taken some chances on the
Yeah, but
punt.
even offensively, they've looked at him a couple of times, and there's not been a whole lot. And he's had this high punt, short punt, and it's going to bounce and get a great Oskaloosa roll.
About hit him.
Yeah, Coons gets out of the way, and it'll be down at about the 41. Another good punt from Van Rukel. But A.J. Coons, we talked about, he's a big play threat. 13 catches on the year and 3 touchdowns, averaging 17 yards a catch. Does he have one in this game? I know they've looked at him a couple of times, but it's not been him. I know the running attack has been the chief export here for this team, but it's really been Bach and Wegman they've gotten in the passing game.
Yeah, I don't know if we finally found a team that respects Sparky or what, because we haven't called Alex DeYoung's name much tonight at all.
They had, I think, a touchdown on him on that jump ball in the end zone, and I think that may have been Coons. No, that was Peyton Bandy who went up and made that touchdown. So Bandy, that was just his 6th catch all year and his first touchdown. Yet another guy. That's the 7th different guy with a touchdown.
We got a wide open middle here.
Yeah, no safeties
careful
here. They're a man and a man, and this is going to be a quick handoff up the middle to Kula, and he squirts through and gets to about the 48, 47-yard line, and who else? Tanner DeCock on the stop.
He's got to have double digits.
Oh yeah, he's in on almost every play. But you're right, DeYoung just not really a factor. They only threw it his direction a couple of times, and the one touchdown, Bandy went up over the top of him and made the catch. They've been going in the Silvers' direction a lot more, but they really haven't tested the passing game all that much outside of the big play to Bach. They have 3 wide receivers and 2 backs. In the pistol again is Cam Miller. He'll take the snap, and he'll hand it to Kula again. A little shifty and gets across midfield. And look at him just kind of keep those legs a-moving. He'll be brought down inside the 45 to the 43, and it's Dykstra. No, Silvers. No Dykstra. Now, see, the 18 and 16 looks exactly alike. I'm sorry, I can't figure that out.
That Kula is quick through there. Man, I'm not sure. We don't have a depth chart on their line, but they're going to be loaded next year again. They got some awesome juniors.
Bach is a junior.
And sophomores.
Cam Miller's a sophomore, the quarterback.
Coons is a sophomore.
Yeah, this is going to be a good team. Here's the snap. They're going to hand it. This is Harris back in the game. Harris trying to stretch it out. Miles and Van Rukel. Well, you had a call to action after the big play to Jaden Van Rukel, and since that big play, the challenge has been accepted, and I think we can say that he, along with Tanner DeCock, have really played well defensively tonight.
Yep, I agree, Emery. I was a little bit upset with the play on the big touchdown. He just wasn't aggressive enough, but he certainly has flipped the switch on, and that hasn't been a problem the remainder of the game. So kudos to Jaden for stepping up here. We're in dangerous territory here with those safeties back.
Here's going to hand off again to Kendrick Harris, and Harris is going to get down to about the 30. A nice run for about 8 yards, and he just keeps his legs moving. He's a little bit bigger than Kula is. Kula hits the hole hard and just stays low. Harris just keeps running.
Yeah, they're kind of wearing us down. The defense now is giving a good effort this second half. It's actually, the score is tied 7-7, but they're starting to wear us down here. We need to get out of this game without anybody getting dinged up here in the last 7 minutes.
Yeah, and over here also on the bench right now, Dykstra being looked at by the trainer, and I was just told as well that the reason Noah Van Veldhuizen has not been in that.
That'll wait, Tanner.
He had a neck injury. They've taken his helmet away from him.
Well, that would explain that. And that was at the half as well.
That's correct.
So loss of 1, and again, good defense by Oskaloosa. Well, Coach, you're down there. You're seeing, how's the sideline responding? I know it's not easy to look up. They're down 29, but still have good energy and try to finish this game out.
Well, you're down 29, but hey, 7-7, right, since halftime. So, I mean, with 6 minutes to go in the ball game, they put 40 on Washington, beat them 40-0, and pretty much everybody else has been blown away. So, man, if we could just keep them out of the end zone right here, I think that'd be nice, guys.
And I think they were up 40-0 on Washington maybe at halftime.
Here's the quick handoff. This is Harris trying to get to the outside.
Good hit.
And
Jaden Van Rukel.
What do you know about that? only a gain of 1. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 from the 29 in Oski territory. 5.5 to go here in this fourth quarter. Solon comfortably ahead 36-7, but Oskaloosa has to feel really good about the way they've been playing in this game, especially the last couple of quarters.
I'll tell you what, Van Rukel and Tanner DeCock have really, they are racking up some serious numbers on the tackles tonight.
3rd and 10. Ball spotted on the near hash going from left to right. And again, Cam Miller, the quarterback, is in the pistol. Harris behind him, Bach, the fullback. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side. Miller takes the snap, fakes the stretch handoff. They'll reverse it with Wegman coming to the near side. Cruz makes him turn it back up, but he runs through another tackle, stiff arms a man.
Wow.
Late hit on Miles as they go out of bounds. It was going to be a first down, a gain of 11. And who else but Spencer Wegman. It's not Bach, it's Wegman. If it's not Wegman, it's Bach.
He kind of had that play snuffed out there.
Good run.
He was able to cut it up inside, and then we weren't able to track him down. But
he's a big dude, too, at 6'1", 190, carrying that football downhill. And then the late hit makes it half the distance from the 18, so that'll move it to about the 9, and it should be 1st and goal here for Solon. I mean, those are the kind of things that, you'd love to make that tackle, but the play was read well. Cruz did a great job of turning him back up. They just could not make the tackle.
Yeah, we had the play snuffed out. They just were a good job of running, and then the penalty, that was an aggressive penalty. I'm okay with that one.
At least make them feel it. There haven't been a lot of penalties on Oskaloosa tonight.
No.
2 wide receivers near side, a tight end, and they're going to hand it to Harris, and Cruz will make the tackle just after a yard gain.
Miles being in there at linebacker has definitely improved our linebacking core. What was that?
Well, they were calling for a paramedic to come to the side of the stadium, I think.
We can see somebody along the back side of the track over there.
I think somebody said a cheerleader, potentially. But it's not away from the formation. So, again, maybe just the heat and the mugginess getting to some of these folks. Just hope everybody's okay. You just hate to have something like that deal with injuries and having to deal with anything else. Is right up the middle, Kendrick Harris. He's going to get up to about the 3 before Miles stops him. Miles hasn't played a bad game defensively either for Oskaloosa. A 3:50 and counting, 36-7. Solon the lead, and they're looking to tack on one more here.
Well, they got 14 easy ones in the first quarter, and from that point on, it has not been easy for them.
They've just been the better team, but Oskaloosa has certainly made them earn everything they've gotten since. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. 2 backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end. And the pistol, Miller. He'll take it, hand it to Harris, and he'll find a little gap and score it into the end zone. Another touchdown for him, and that'll make it 42-7, extra point pending here. And Solon, I would just, are we taking bets now for state championship teams? Because I think I'm ready to throw my dollar bills into the Solon hat.
Well, there's some good football teams over there. You got Xavier, and you've got a couple others up there in the northeast part of the state.
You got Pellis still. You have to worry about is Aiden Dahl. The extra point is up. It's good. It's 43-7. 3:23 to go, fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break. Be back with the kickoff right after this on the No Coast Network.
Once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
43-7, Solon the lead, 3:23 to go, fourth quarter. The score may indicate a blowout, but Oskaloosa has a lot of positives to take from this, especially maybe the biggest positive, Doug, is the fact that they know they're not going to be seeing a team nearly this tough until they make a run 2 or 3 rounds deep in the playoffs.
Unless you draw Solon in the first round, you're not going to see a team like this until you're deep. So, you know, not all is lost tonight. We kind of expected this a little bit.
I didn't think it would be this wide a margin, but I didn't expect Solon to also look this impressive.
Yeah, I'm impressed by them also. I knew they were good. I didn't realize they were this good.
And it's not like the guys Miller, Kula, Harris, Kuntz that we were talking about in the open. It's been a lot of different guys. The Bach about to kick off, he's impressed me maybe the most of anybody on their team tonight, and just all the dirty work he's been able to do as a fullback, a receiver, special teamer. As Miller receiving this one out about the numbers on the far side, gets across the 30 to the 31. Got to get Wegman in there. Peyton Bandy's went up and made a couple of nice catches. How about Cole Flansburgh as a big third back on short yardage situations? Their line has looked great. Of course, Linderbaum's going to get the headlines there, but and Bach, the kicker, again on the stop. I mean, like, what is
his size? He is 6 foot 200, a senior. He may
well, he's
be
a junior. They've got that year wrong. He's only a junior.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Whoa. He might be the guy that I saw on a watch list that's moving up big time.
Well, I could believe it after this performance.
Yeah,
Oskaloosa.
Let's get through this 2:36 running clock. Just crank that thing down.
2.5 to go, and as mentioned, 36-point advantage. The running clock in effect in favor of Solon. Howard looking deep, sideline, looking for Henry. And he made a nice catch in the sideline. That was a good throw as well. The coverage on that far side of the field by, I believe, Jackson Pipolo, who's shifted into coverage on that far side, and Henry, a toe tapper.
Nice throw, nice catch. Once again, Hunter Else getting the ball back to when you get the ball back on a line like that, it gives you that half a second more to look and throw the ball.
We mentioned Noah Van Veldhuizen, coach down there, picked up the scoop that he's just injured. That's why they made the move, as Dylan Van Leuven kind of had to cut back inside to make the catch and let it bounce off the hands. It's the third or fourth drop we've seen from Oskaloosa receivers tonight. And Howard, to be fair, other than the interception, which was really just kind of a desperate situation on a 3rd and long, everything else he's thrown has been pretty accurate tonight.
Yeah, and Solon now has put in their backup defense.
Yes.
So it's, you know, we're handling them, it looks like, pretty good.
Howard will throw on a comebacker. Henry's got it, first down yardage, working on Popolo. That'll be 1st and 10 at the 44 after the tackle on that far side of the field. As we have just over a minute to play, Oskaloosa in action against Fairfield on the road next week. We hope to have a video broadcast for you there. It's looking good to have that happen at this point. As we have 4 wide receivers, 3 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Howard in the gun, takes a snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, looking for action up the middle. He'll be met and pushed back at the 39-yard line. Gain of 5. And maybe 1 or 2 more plays with 40 seconds to go. Oskaloosa, you mentioned, just let's get out of here without anybody else biting the dust.
Yeah, we got another kid I was getting on my program, guys, number 54.
That's Keegan Mitz.
Okay.
Keegan Butler.
Keegan Mitz Butler.
He's trainer looking at him.
Throw toward Henry.
Well, that's an interference.
Yeah, and well, I mean, with 30 seconds left, flag is in the offensive backfield, so it's likely a hold on Oskaloosa, so the clock will still
Well, there
stop.
was a defensive pass interference big time on Cole Henry.
Didn't throw the flag, though. I would have offset the penalties. This looks like a hold on Oskaloosa, and we'll just have one more snap maybe before the game goes final. 15 on the clock.
Good throw by Howard.
No, never mind. It's a personal foul on both teams, so it still is going to be offset.
Well, that's good. We're still out there fighting. Blake's not out there, so it wasn't him.
Which is good. Keep him rested up for next week.
That's right.
Oscar will come back to the line. They'll wind the clock, and this will likely be the last play of the game. Oskaloosa at the 39. And maybe he'll make one Hail Mary attempt here. And they'll just hand it off to Tyler Miller. He's going to cut it outside, inside the 30. He's looking to get to the corner. And
face mask.
Yeah, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds.
And then another late hit.
A little chippy at the end. Clock does expire. The game is over either way.
Can it end on a penalty?
Well, defensive penalty, you can have an untimed down.
Well, might as well do it. Let's put one more on him.
All right. Well, get the official.
Nobody's running. It looks like we're going to have another play. We'll be inside the 10-yard line.
So the referee looking toward the Oskaloosa sideline. And the face mask, which is a 5-yard face mask penalty, and the defensive down, they'll get one untimed down.
Yeah.
Referee says one play.
There's no need to hurry. We don't need to hurry.
They'll get to the line, 15-yard line after the penalty. This is the last play of the game. Oskaloosa just looking for a score that would make them feel better about themselves. They'll look back to the sideline here. 43-7 the score. Solon the big lead, but Oskaloosa don't mind that score. They've played pretty well in this one. 3 wide to the near side, 1 to the far side. Howard will take the snap, and he'll look to throw. He's got time. Still got time. Throws over the middle.
Oh.
Good coverage and nearly caught by Keaton DeCock. But that'll do it. And it's good defense once again by Ryan Guestkemper in the right spot in coverage as a linebacker. And that'll finish things out 43-7. But although it's a 36-point win for Solon on the scoreboard, Doug, you have to feel pretty good about how things ended up here.
Yeah, 14-7 basically in the second half. Take away the first quarter, the first 2 drives, and Oskaloosa was competitive in this game. You know, the scoreboard's not going to show that, but I guarantee you Solon hasn't well, Mount Vernon is a really good football team, so I'm not sure about that. But if you're Oski, you competed in the second half. You look forward to the rest of the year because now things get a little bit easier for you.
Well, next week against the Fairfield team that lost a couple of games that, I mean,
you've got three games against teams that you could win by 40.
And that's Fairfield, West Burlington, Notre Dame, and Keokuk. Those are 3 of your 4 opponents left. Washington sandwiched in there in week 8, which is really going to decide the last playoff spot in this district unless something weird happens to Washington again. Either way, Oskaloosa has to feel good about the performance overall as a whole. Coach Harms, what did you think about the game overall?
Yeah, I think, again, you know, guys, we always look at when you're in that situation going into halftime, you look at the second half, okay? What do you want to do? And you want to play, first of all, to win that half. And, we get beat, 14-7 in that second half, right?
Yep.
So, I got to be pleased with that. And, again, we talked about, I think a real key was getting out of here without, having some real kids dinged up. And hopefully we did get some kids dinged, but hopefully they'll be able to heal and be ready to go next week against those Fairfield Trojans.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a road matchup, but against a team that obviously you hope, if you're an Oskaloosa supporter or a player, that you'll handle pretty easily. Coach is going to stay down there and try to catch Coach Jake Jenkins coming off the field. But Oskaloosa final score tonight, 43-7. Again, the final score not really indicative of how well I think Oskaloosa played, and I think we can all agree that here. But obviously the coaches want to see some results. The Indians dropped to 3-2 overall on the season and 2-1 in District 5 play. Also over the top of the district, it's Solon and Solon alone now, as they have taken care of their the second and third best team that you think on paper, with Oskaloosa and Mount Pleasant being knocked off in the last couple of 3 weeks or so. Solon looks the real deal. They are now 5-0 on the year and 3-0 in District 5 play. We'll go ahead and take a break, come back with the post-game show after this on the No Coast Network.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Plow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Plow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Plow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Time Out
to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
If you are looking for brand names close to home, then look no further than Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Penn Central Mall has a wide variety of stores for people of all ages. Find the perfect pair of silver or Vigas jeans at Maurice's, get a pair of Oakley sunglasses from the smiling staff at Eye Care Partners, cozy up with Ashley Furniture from Gilworth Furniture, and find that dazzling diamond from Gardner Collier Jewelry. When you're done, grab a bite to eat at Mira Cheeto or the Pizza Ranch. It's all at Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
Oskaloosa football falls to Solon 43-7 tonight. They fall to 3-2 overall and 2-1 in district play. And for Solon, number 2 ranked team in the state of Iowa, looked every bit the part of a state contender. They find themselves at 5-0 and 3-0 in the district. And Doug, I don't necessarily think that this Solon team is going to see I think they're going to waltz their way through the rest of their season. But if you're Oskaloosa, you have to feel still pretty good about the way you competed with a team that very well could win the state title.
Absolutely. Solon will be a number 1 or 2 ranks, a number 1 or 2 seed in the 3A tournament. I don't think there's any doubt about that. As for Oskaloosa, you move on. I think we got some confidence. We saw some good things. Jaden Van Rukel really stepped it up in the second half and was playing aggressive from the safety position. That's something we've been looking for. DJ Miles, the linebacker that's come back, had a good night. Tanner DeCock had one of the best nights he's ever had, probably the best night he has ever had as a linebacker with tackles and an interception. So our linebacking core looked good tonight. Our line, we expected them to struggle. You're going up against one of the best offensive lines in the state tonight, and they certainly opened up some holes and did a good job. But I felt like our linebackers and our safety, they came to play tonight, and they improved, and that is one place where we wanted to see improvement, and so that's a bright spot for us tonight.
Yeah, one thing that I can definitely report to you is the fact that this district, not the strongest Class 3A district, but and that's going to work in Oskaloosa's favor to get into the dance, because from the way that they played, especially in the last 2.5 quarters tonight, that's a team that Oskaloosa's got that could compete with a first-round playoff opponent regardless, and they could very well, just like Solon, kind of run their way through the back half of the schedule, Washington being the real test in Week 8 coming up in a few weeks. Coach Harms, you're down there on the track, and one thing that I find interesting is every coach has these kind of games where the scoreboard doesn't necessarily look exactly the way you want it to, but you still find ways to have some positives. What positive do you think Coach Jenkins and his coaching staff are going to take out of this one?
Well, I think he's going to, talk about, because I think we all saw that first half. We just got manhandled, on their offensive front, their defensive front. Second half, we made some plays defensively. We held them to minus yardage on some plays, and then we also had some, positive yards on our offense. We started moving the ball. We made some nice throws. I thought Seth made some nice throws. We didn't catch the ball, but yet the throws were there, and those are the kind of plays that you have to make. Against teams like this, you want to stay in the game, but of course, catches that we're going to have to make down the road here from here on out if we want to hopefully run the table and get in the playoffs.
Yeah, getting in the playoffs is obviously the goal, and for the second consecutive year as well in this District 5, which is, we say it over and over again, there's just a lot of beatable teams, we'll say it that way. And Oskaloosa has turned this program around from winning 3 games over 2 years a couple of years ago to now a 7-win season last year, maybe on their way to another 7-win season at least this year again. But they fall tonight to Solon by a final score of 43-7. Any final thoughts, Doug?
No, just ready to move on to the second half of the season. I think we're sitting where we thought we would be, to be honest with you. We're 3-2. We're a good football team. We're going to get, as we get healthier, you saw when Cruz came in the game, that immediately made a difference. Howard's comfortable throwing that back shoulder to Cruz, and I felt like we improved in this game from the midway through the second quarter on. So I'm looking forward to putting a whooping on some teams.
Yeah, Fairfield's going to be a team that will be trying to avoid that next week. We'll go ahead and take one more break, come back and let you know what's coming up the rest of the weekend right here on the No Coast Network.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development is dedicated to the promotion and improvement of rural economies and to the development of both vision and leadership to enhance the quality of life in all Mahaska County. Recently designated as a home base Iowa community, Mahaska County and the city of Oskaloosa are now welcoming veterans and transitioning service members for career opportunities in the area. This also includes an incentives package created through Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development. For more information on how to support the Home Base Iowa initiative, contact Deanne DeGroot at 641-672-2591.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
For over 30 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
43-7, the final score. Solon picks up the win. Just before we talk about everything else, I asked my co-host, my partner up here in the booth, Doug, about his final thoughts. Coach, you've been down on the field. You've kind of got a better vibe for what was happening atmospherically down there with the guys. What were your final thoughts about this particular game?
Well, I mean, yeah, we went in the game wanting to win the ball game, but I think, we saw, as Doug kind of mentioned, we saw a lot of things tonight, I think, where this team grew up. I think we really saw what kind of ball club that we can have. And now we're going to be playing, as you mentioned, people that we are going to be favored against. Yeah, Washington's going to be at Washington. That'll be a tough ball game, but yeah, we'll go into that game favored. This one's over. It's history, and you're going to go back and you're going to break the film down, look at the things you did well, and look at things that you got to improve on. But forget about it now, and hopefully these guys can wipe that out of their minds, and they still got a homecoming dance to attend, and go have some fun. Make memories for the homecoming week, and they get a chance to maybe do a little dance and do a little boogieing, tonight, and hopefully come back and get ready and get after it and go after those Fairfield Trojans next week.
All right, Coach, and you have fun tomorrow going and checking out some of your old players over there at William Penn and Indian Hills softball. That's going to be a fun one tomorrow morning.
Yeah, looking really forward to it, guys.
All right, that's Coach Jay Harms down there on the track, and we'll catch up with him in a couple of weeks back here at home against Keokuk. Doug, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be seeing you next week as the Indians travel to face Fairfield.
Thank you, Emery, and fantastic job to you. I hear a lot of compliments amongst the community, and you sure make it easy for me. They give me a compliment, but I'm like, the real compliment should go to you. So good job again tonight.
Thanks, Doug. I'm glad you appreciate me. That'll do it. Somebody else you should appreciate besides us here in the booth and Coach Harms down on the track is the Oskaloosa Video Production Program at Oskaloosa High School. They have been setting your shots. They've been doing all the heavy lifting for us as usual tonight, so thanks to them as well. Thanks to our director on site, Dino Landucci, Titus Letzring back in the No Coast Network studios, and the entire crew. Be sure to tune in and stay locked in for Scores and More presented by Bubbler. Taylor Howard breaking down all the scores around the state and in our listening area. And also be sure to check out tomorrow morning the Indian Power Hour. Cade Snakenberg, Nick Ryder, and Calvin Silvers giving you plenty of interviews and insight to what's been happening in the Oskaloosa High School, all activities involved. And be sure to check that out 9 a.m. tomorrow right here on KMZN. Then, of course, the William Penn University Statesmen will be kicking off in the early afternoon. They'll take on Evangeline in Springfield, Missouri. That game should be an interesting one, and hopefully the Statesmen can pick up a win there. And that's on KMZN in the afternoon. And the Iowa Hawkeyes are going to be playing at night against the Penn State Nittany Lions, one of the best teams in the country. A big Big Ten battle in Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City coming up tomorrow evening. 4:30 p.m. is going to be the start time of our broadcast with Gary Dolphin and the gang on 104.9 FM KBOE. 6:30 the kickoff between Iowa and Penn State. That'll do it for our entire crew. We appreciate you for joining us. For Coach Jay Harms, for Doug DeCock, my name's Emery Songer signing off. Oskaloosa falls to 3-2 on the season, falling at home on homecoming night, 43-7 to Solon. You heard it and watched it right here on the No Coast Network.
You've been listening to Oskaloosa Indians football. Brought to you by Bank Iowa, Mahaska Drug, William Penn University, Fairway, Raymond James Financial Services, Roxfort's Decorating Center, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Hawkeye Real Estate, Cloud Valve Company, Robert Auld Investments, Mahaska, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Penn Central Mall, Kelly Style Insurance, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Petrito Orthodontics, and Pella Printing. This has been a presentation of the No Coast Network.